do it live. Let's do it live. Let's do it live. Bear with me. Boomerang. Way. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Brown. What's today's date? It's Wednesday, 9th of July, in the year of our Lord, 2025. I hope I find you all well. Let's effing go. Jaws, part 4. Hopefully, we will finish this week. Remember, I wanted to finish it last week, not me. So let's see if we can do this, folks. The very, 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 very good bits of Jaws. So let's get the guests on. Let's get some bodies on. Okay, first up, he is the jester from Leicester. It is the wonderful, is a Star Wars novelist, don't you know? It is Star Wars Retold. Swappers.
Hey! What are we on now? What are we on now? Act 4, is it? Or Act 17? I can't remember.
Act 34, my friend.
Jeez, it's gone on longer than I thought, isn't it? Blimey.
How are you, dude?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thank you very much. Enjoying the nice weather and rounding off the day, we're talking about fish.
Fish.
Is it racist to talk about great whites, or do we have to call them something else these days?
Did you say Greg Whites?
Greg.
Oh, no, Greg. Sorry, Greg Wallace. Sorry, I'm boomering fucking idiot.
Good Lord, Brown. Those drugs in the 90s really had an awful long-term effect on your brain, didn't they?
God, it was amazing.
How do you know? You can't remember it.
I can't. That's why I know it was amazing. I can't remember that. Listen, folks, I cannot remember the 90s. And on that bombshell, Swappers, it's great to have you on, mate.
There's something in the water.
There was a lot in the water. Shall we get the next peep on?
Do it
now. Okay. Here you go, folks. He is the king of the logistics of YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, you name it. He's the king. It is Sir Melvin of the Deeply.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we today?
You all right? We're shocking.
I'm shockingly good. I'm amazing. I am amazing. I wouldn't call myself the king of anything, though. I'm just...
Queen. More of a queen, I thought. Yes.
Amazingly second rate.
Listen, folks, trust me. He's more of a queen. Trust me.
You know, would you, Brown?
Oh, yes.
What do you know that I don't, Brown?
Just the mannerisms, you know. But anyway. So you well, my friend.
It's the body language.
Yes. It is, yes. See you well, yes.
Indeed. Always.
Let's get the next body on then, yes. Okay. Spoiled here. Who can I choose? I am going to choose... brains farting. The Geek. Mega. Hello, Ian.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
Right?
What are you eating? What are you eating now?
What are you eating or drinking?
I'm eating hobnobs. That sounds rude. Americans probably didn't know.
Week, didn't you? Like on the Fast Show with Jesse's diet. Like, what's
yeah, exactly.
This week?
I wonder if the Americans know what that is. Hobnobs.
No.
Sounds a bit weird.
Biscuits with OT biscuits covered in chocolate.
Not called biscuits over there, though, is it?
Yeah.
Called cookies.
A hobnob is like a digestive, except they put some horrible shit in it and ruin the taste.
Anybody know what this means? Reg, Brown is the energy vampire from Call of Cthulhu, and no, it's not shit.
I have no idea what that means.
Energy vampire.
H.P. Lovecraft.
But anyway, Ian, it's great to have you on, mate.
Thank you. It's good to be on.
Okay. Look who it is, everybody. All the way from the future. It's winter. We're sweating our bollocks over here. Sweating our bollocks off over here. I'm sure Echo Chamberlain in winter. You all right, pal?
Saying I hate you is all that people ever say to me. It's not that I want them to, but it's what I've got coming to me. Lonely is terrible. The Last Jedi destroyed a generation. boring turd is all the last Jedi will ever be. And now Kathleen Kennedy, she won't give me my trilogy. Hello, everyone.
Thank you very much. You're wasted as a YouTuber, you are, you know?
Yeah, I'm just wasted generally.
You know, 70,000 YouTube subscribers, nothing compared to the talent of your singing.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah,
You know what? It's winter over there, right? But
it is.
the kind of winter you
Well-
guys get isn't like the winter we get, is it?
Well,
No, you've got a winter that gets in your bones, no matter how many layers you have on.
Well,
Whereas
I'm sorry.
we just have like summer, autumn, spring thing. It's just
Okay.
vaguely, basically the same.
okay, well, when you started singing that, you sent a chill through my bones. See what I did
Oh,
there?
that's sweet.
You were waiting to say that joke, weren't you, Ian?
You know I was. Echo, it's a genuine delight to have you on.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, let's finish talking about this big fish thing.
Okay, there is another, you know.
And how
Go
is he
on.
going to top that, though? That's the question, isn't it?
Pretty easily.
Well, we will find out.
Quando sono solo, sono l'esorante, e mancano le parole, sì, lo so che non è luce, in una stanza quando manca sole, sì, non sei tu con me, time to say goodbye to Jaws and the crew, and Palpatine swaps in the loo with old Ruin jailed in Iraq. It's good to have the gang back. Mega Geek doesn't think it's shit, and Melvin loves Liam Neeson's dick. Echo Chamberlain delivers once more, and Mr. Brown's cat's at the door. Time to say, I've lost the fucking key, goodbye. Bit of Bocelli for you there, man, babies. The neighbour's banging at the fucking wall. It must be good.
At the beginning.
I've gone blind like Bocelli himself from singing that shite. But anyway, the eye ties in the chat will have enjoyed the first half of those.
I was harmonising throughout the entire thing, then realised I had the mute on.
Could I just say you don't get that on Nerdrotic?
You don't. I'd like to see Doomcock do that with the fucking mask on and the big cloak and his pointed arms again. You know, he can't do this shit. So you only get it on the Brown Alliance. You know, Brownie. It's like fucking Glastonbury on this channel. You got Chamberlain with the folky fucking Jeremy Corbyn dad rock, and then you've got the Chelly rocks up. You know what I mean? It's what?
And Melvin.
What a time to be alive, eh, boys?
Why is my channel not on 100 million subs?
Well, there are probably many reasons.
Unbelievable. Oasis and Ozzy Osbourne and now Ruin. Just what a weekend. All right.
See, Glastonbury has the John Peel stage, doesn't it? Which is historically a bit dodgy. But
stage.
What do we call this?
I think it's the Jimmy Savile dome, or the Hugh Edwards alternative tent.
Oh my god!
Oh god, we've started early, folks.
What about the Rolf Harris performance stage?
Oh, the Rolf Harris, the get your didgeridoos out for the boys. What about this one?
Can you guess what it is yet?
It makes you wonder, his motives for tying the kangaroo down. Sam like that one. Laughed so hard I browned my alliance. Very good. Anyway, look, enough horsing around. We've got a goddamn good movie to talk about. I think we're going to bring this one home tonight, aren't we, Brown?
Well, we said that last week, but
Well, no, it's in. What are we on? Week 3, 4? Where are we now?
part 4, week 4, yes.
Okay.
I'll just say quickly, good evening, chat. We can see you.
Good evening, chat.
I would say, Ruin, that you've got your trilogy, but it's gone into 4 parts now, so it doesn't really count, does it?
Oh, I always get
quadrilogy.
cheated out of my trilogy. Okay, well, look, Brown, help an old boy out here. I'm sat here with an empty hand. I've got, well, I won't tell you what's in one hand, but the drinking hand is empty. So if you could do the legal stuff, maybe, warm the crowd up. I'll go and get a rum, and then we'll be ready to rock. Okay,
brilliant.
90 seconds. Behave yourselves, man, babies.
Okay. So here we are. Roy Scheider, Jaws at 50th anniversary movie roast, part 4.
Can I got to.
I was waiting. Go on.
It's like I can't stop myself. I'm just one of them people, right? We've spoken about this thumbnail before. This might be your worst ever thumbnail.
Why? The typography's okay, but it's just the picture's a bit iffy.
Yeah,
I've come around on it. I think it's got a cool indie vibe. I think it's got its own zeitgeist feel.
Okay. The problem I had, because on a graphics level, the shark would have been better centralized to where the Jaws at 50 is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go on to the next slide, it would have been off center, and it would really have fucked with my OCD. So this was the lesser of two evils.
I wasn't really talking about the shark. I was talking about the Roy Scheider picture. It doesn't even look like Roy Scheider. It looks like
no high-res pictures from
blurry.
No high-res pictures, just nothing.
What you should have done is, it says, please subscribe. It shouldn't be the shark. It should be something else.
Isn't there a 4K Jaws?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so you could have got high-res pictures. Sloppy, Brown. Sloppy. But a graphic designer as well. Man, I'm putting your name in my book now.
Mega, I was disturbed by that tweet you sent. Rebecca Gold, she seemed to have a gunshot square in the chest. Looks like she's gone forever now.
Well, you'll have to find out in September what happens to her. So there you go.
We killed her off and we've not even seen it yet. Oh, brilliant.
I'm not saying a word. Not giving out any spoilers.
Director, you are. Okay. Please like, share, subscribe, everybody. Everybody in the chat, tell your friends. Come on, we need to get the subs moving. It's demoralizing.
Do you hear that? Was it July the 15th? That YouTube is not going to monetize anything that has AI in it and AI speeches and all that kind of stuff.
Really?
That's fantastic. That's awesome.
I actually read it on Instagram and other places as well. So when it comes to July the 15th, they're going to be looking at everything very carefully.
I would say that it's probably a bit complicated because there's a lot of really good AI stuff.
Yeah,
but
no, it's not the AI. Basically, they're saying that if it's not authentic, if you're doing a show and you have an AI voice, then they're not going to get monetized.
Yeah, I don't like that AI narration, or when they're doing like a documentary type thing and it's AI and you can tell it's AI because every so often it pronounces something wrong, like we're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, guys. So be warned. You have been warned. So yeah.
Okay. Please like, share, subscribe, then, folks. Jaws poster, great poster, classic poster, 50 years old. Anything to add, anybody?
Yeah. Did anyone see the interview with Richard Dreyfuss? And I can't remember who was interviewing him, but they were actually in the town that they shot Jaws, and they were having a special screening. And he was saying that he was the only one left for the 50th, and obviously he's the spokesperson for Jaws since Roy and Robert has gone. He didn't look too bad actually, Richard Dreyfuss at all.
Martha's Vineyard.
Yes, where they were showing it. Yeah, he said when they first started, they all loved them. Martha's Vineyard. Everyone that lived there, they loved the Hollywood thing, and as it kept going and going, they ended up hating them. So there you go. But yeah, they had a special screening there, and a lot of people turned out.
Did he bump into Obama?
I don't know.
Any migrants there? I doubt it.
Obama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a little thing the other day where Spielberg was saying that when they designed the machine of the shark, they designed it for fresh water, not for salt water. So that's what gummed up all the machinery and stuff.
Absolutely.
I think that would have been like one of the first questions they would have asked.
It was made by the guy who made the big squid in the Walt Disney film. He was the one that designed it.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
Mr. Brown, I have one small request. You know I don't ask for much.
You don't, go on.
Other than this large bottle of rum that Mr. Brown bought me, by the way, man, babies. I'll just
deserve that, mate.
Can you bloody believe it?
Deserve
this
it.
giant bottle of rum. This is a normal size human head.
Bear with me. Bear with me.
Massive bottle of rum that Mr. Brown bought me. Check that one out. Yes.
That's courtesy of everybody's super chats and my gratitude. Cheers, pal.
Weird thing was though, Brown, the seal was broken even though it was full, and when I compared it to my other bottles, it was much more watery. It's almost like open top blank and topped up with piss. I don't know, but
brown piss.
I'll take whatever I can get these days. Yes, my small request. Actually, it's not my request. It's one of your fabulous man babies in the chat. I can't remember which one. Someone was asking for a song. Melvin, help me out. It was some fucking the Prince of Spain or something. What was it, Melv?
Farewell and adieu, you fair Spain.
Farewell and adieu. Well, I wanted to ask if Melvin, if you'd be so kind to regale us, because I don't know the song. The people demand it. Go on, give us a couple of lines, Melv.
I will say, nah, you're all right.
Oh, come on, you've got the perfect voice for it. Come on, be a sport.
I barely speak Scottish, never mind Spanish.
Oh, just have
Put
a
yourself
go.
on the line for once. Stop being such a pussy.
Nah, you're okay. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity, Ruin.
Melvin is.
I wouldn't want to steal your thunder.
Melvin is pure 100% testosterone-driven heterosexual. He doesn't put on himself on the line like that.
Well, does anyone else want to pick
Not
up
unless
the
I'm getting sex at the end of it.
So apparently Melvin is stauncher than Robert Shaw, apparently. So I don't know what's going on there. Come on, Mel, have a go. Dig deep.
Ruddy demands that you sing "You Big Girls Blouse."
I don't know the lyrics to that one.
Could anyone else? What is this? I'd sing it if I bloody knew it, but
I don't know that song. "You Big Girls Blouse." Who was that?
No,
was that Damon Albarn or something?
Okay, Melvin's not going to do it. Who else is going to give people what they want?
Melvin's had too much ostriches to sing. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Too much ostriches.
We've got a request.
Oh,
Ruin
that's a great one
from Bob Smith. Hello, Bob.
I mean, is that a song request or a lifestyle request?
Okay.
A lifestyle choice. Yeah, that's the Haley Atwell song, isn't it?
I'll do both at the same time if you like. Okay, I'll bear that one in mind. Look, we have got an interesting fact here. Fun fact from Mudcrab. Interested to know if Echo is aware of this. Captain Morgan was the captain of the first official ship to bring, well, you call them settlers, I call them convicts.
Criminals?
South Australia in 1836. Is that right, Echo? It's your part of the world.
I don't know. I'm a bit patchy on Australian history.
It's more robot head, isn't it?
Yeah, I know he's not Aussie, but it's he's Christ. It's the same ballpark, isn't it? I mean,
I thought Captain Morgan was a famous Welsh pirate who eventually became governor of Jamaica.
Is France doing something similar at the moment with us?
What's shafting us?
Sending criminals on boats to settle.
Oh, Brownie.
All right, moving on.
Okay, so Brown, I can't seem to move the slides on. What's going on? I'm moving. Oh, there we go. Right, perfect.
Can we just go back to the poster for 1 second?
Oh,
just for one second. Is there like underneath it like a pretty huge, stupid, obvious kind of like phallic metaphor of the shark there with the lady and stuff?
No.
It's not meant to be because it's based on the actual the cover of the novel.
Which, but isn't that like a latent half-conscious association that the people are supposed to make?
Well,
I don't know.
Two things: the shark would have had to have been female because of the size. Because the female, like, I think the max size for a male is like about 14 feet or something, whereas the female can grow to over 20 feet. So the shark in the film would had to have been female.
But in my head canon,
interesting story behind the picture. It was on the cover of the book, and the guy who made the picture allowed them to use it for the film free of charge. He didn't sell it to them. And it probably cost them millions because of the amount of merchandise that went out with that image on it.
Well, in those days, they weren't used to doing merchandise connected to movies, were they? And it's this one, and Star Wars was the very first that actually utilized. I am talking. Utilize. Yeah, sorry. I'll stop then.
No, that's your cue to ignore the old fucker. Go on, Mega Geek.
No, I finished. Fine.
He wants to talk about immigrants. Talk about something else quick before he gets started.
No, I was talking about toys in the 70s. Who did the toy of this? You know, the Jaws game in the.
Was it NB Games?
Yeah,
it was the same. Was it? It was the same people who did Kaplunk.
NB Games.
They made everything. It was them and Waddingtons, wasn't it?
No, it was another one. Palatoy wasn't Palatoy, was it? Come on,
I don't know, but I know maybe they changed their name to MB Games because I know MB Games does it now.
Palatoy was the Star Wars figures, weren't they?
Yeah.
Chat help us out. Who was the? It was the same company that made TCR. Ideal. That's it. Ideal.
Ideal. Right.
Christ, who remembers Ideal Games?
I do.
Ideal.
Yeah. Who remembers Pop-O-Matic? Anybody remember that?
Yeah, we had Pop-O-Matic.
In every game had Pop-O-Matic from that moment on, didn't they? Anybody knows what Pop-O-Matic is?
Yeah,
Anyone?
the dice with the
but the rest of them.
Oh, that was the game was called Frustration. It was basically Ludo with the little
Pop-O-Matic
for the dice.
Yeah,
it was created because kids always used to lose the dice. So what they had was a dome with the dice in it, and then when you pressed it, it would flick the dice.
Yeah,
it'll stay in the dome. So yeah.
Me and Punchable Face are getting married. I do.
All right, Pop-O-Matic, man, that takes me back. Wow.
22 minutes in, we're still on the poster. Going well tonight, folks. I think we're going for a week 5, aren't we? Week 5.
I think we are, yeah.
Okay, well, should we get this show on the road? Actually, honestly, I'm not taking the piss here, Brian. Just go back to the poster a second.
Oh, for
No, I'm not genuinely right. Quick question. No, it's in pause. The last time.
Listen, there's no such thing as a quick question on this channel.
Oh well, you know. I mean, quick as in probably finish it this week. The question that is. One for Mega Geek. I think. Well, actually, I'm sure all the panel could contribute, but I know Mega Geek has particular expertise in these matters. I hope we haven't touched on this before. Mega Geek, the arrangement and alignment of the names and the fact Robert Shaw is front center and slightly above the other two. Is there any significance there?
Well, Richard Dreyfuss spoke about it when he was being interviewed at Martha's Vineyard, and he was saying that he wasn't worried about it, but Roy Scheider was very worried about it. He was pissed off. And then one day they went for a drink, and he said to Richard, he said, don't you realize that Robert's name's going to be above ours? And Richard was like, I don't care. This film's going to be a flop anyway. And then he said to him, well, you should care, because if your name's below that, that means you're not as important as me or Robert. And then Richard said, oh. And then he suddenly get it. And he was like, no, I'm going to call my agent, stuff like that. So it was important to them. But at the end of the day, right, this is what they settled for. Robert was the biggest star. Roy had just started. He came off French Connection, and he came off another movie. And Richard Dreyfuss came off a really terrible movie that the reason why he took the Jaws gig was because he was scared he wouldn't get any work, because he literally saw the movie he was in and thought he was terrible. Spielberg kept asking him, can you play Hooper? And he kept saying, no, I don't want to be part of this film at all. Then he went to see his own film and thought it was terrible. And he literally ran back to Spielberg and say, I'll do it. Because he was scared after that film that came out that he wouldn't get any work. So that kind of answers your question, really. But the agent was obviously, wanted to push Robert forward, and quite rightly so, because he's bigger than both of them. So there you go. But they accepted it. It's quite nice that the three of them get like billing, I guess. What's he doing?
Just settling in for the night. Apparently, Meggie is so expertly answered, by the way. Apparently, I asked that same question 4 weeks ago in episode 1. I don't fucking remember. It must have been half cut. I don't know. Anyway, should we get this show on the road, Brownie?
Yeah.
There's
About 20 minutes.
one thing we need to do first.
Get off this poster.
No, even before we do that, we need
It's
to
a drinking
establish
game.
it's a drinking game.
Okay. Slide Jester volunteered to be the drinks monitor.
Excellent. Okay, you've got one chance and one chance only. Fuck it up. You're out. You're gone. Okay, we leave Mr. Brown to last because he has early onset dementia. He's struggling processing basic thoughts. So we go to Swappers first.
Oh, all right then. Whenever there's a load of blood on the screen.
Oh, Brownie, you're gonna have to get me another bottle of rum, mate.
We'll sort that out for
last
you.
stream. Okay, very good. Echo, what have you got for me?
Anytime anyone gets within 15 centimeters of the shark's mouth.
Oof, kissing distance. I like it. I like it. Very good. He's been paying attention, this guy. Melv, what have you got for me?
Oh, I don't know. I think I used all the good ones up, like the sea and the cables. But how about anytime somebody on the panel mentions a famous PDF or shoplifter?
Brilliant. Brilliant. I think Mega, we need yours, don't we?
Anytime that that Roy Scheider shoots his gun or rifle. Anytime.
Oh yeah, gun or rifle, yeah. Brownie, you've had plenty of time now. Come on.
Every time we see an underwater shot.
An underwater, yeah. Okay. You had a while to think, and that's what you came up with. Okay, we'll go with that.
I think if it wasn't for me, you'd all be going home sober.
I'm going to go with any time there's a.
Did you ask Echo?
Yeah, we got echoes.
Oh, or did I zone out?
Yeah, well, come on.
Okay.
I'll go with any time there's any kind of pseudo homosexual reference, which can be quite regular with me hosting the stream. Okay, I think we're all set. Can we just go back to the poster, Brown? Because there is just one more thing I need to. No, I'm joking. Get the fucking slides up, man. There is a conspiracy theory, Brown, that you are actually capturing the slides in real time, and that's why we're delaying.
We may as well have done.
Apan Asplund says
30 minutes
take a drink every time you go back to the post. I'm all right.
Fucking sloshed.
5th drink already.
Jesus.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Oh.
Back to the post.
Okay. The Orca. So where did we leave it? Anyone slightly more sober than I am?
Okay, we just had the shot where the fish had attacked and it was going under.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. Are they trying to? I've been in so many Jaws streams lately, I can't remember. Never mind.
Really? Which is
on it.
Mel, give me your top 3 Jaws streams.
Top 3 Jaws streams. Oh, these 4 have been my top 3.
Oh, there you go.
Without a doubt, miles ahead.
Correct answer.
There is only one correct answer.
When you said you've been on so many Jaws, I thought you meant like different channels and things. You just mean
no,
these ones.
Well, I've been on 4 here, and I've been on Niat's one, and yeah, so that's only 5 really.
Well,
so 5's a lot.
Yeah.
5's a lot.
More Jaws than a Hugh Edwards BBC after party, isn't there? You can take a drink for that one, man, babies. Okay, so the shark is chasing the boat. It's polluting the atmosphere somewhat there. Look at all this shit coming out of that funnel. Terrible. Has he ever played a pirate, this guy? I feel like he'd be a fabulous pirate.
Yeah, he did play a pirate, actually. He made a film in the 1970s called The Scarlet Buccaneer.
Wow.
In which he played a pirate.
Arr.
So the shark is chasing the boat. Because last time we left it was that they put some barrels in him and they tied it to the ship, and then it just pulled the ship around. So that means the shark is bigger than the ship. So, and then they had to free it. Remember, so they cut the lines, and now it's chasing the boat. And Quint thinks he's going to drown him.
Yeah, we talked about this last time, didn't we? Not a great tactic, we decided, was it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's not like they're dragging it; it's following them. That's the thing.
So surely it would know when it's getting a little bit shallow and get the shark.
Also,
out.
Richard Dreyfuss mentioned that one of the reasons why it took so long is because nobody realised how much the waters was being used when they were filming. So when they shoot a scene, there'll be like a sailboat behind in the shot. Then I had to wait for the sailboat to pass the frame before they started shooting again. And he said that happened like 15 times a day. So that was one of the things that was stopping them from actually moving fast, which is interesting because he says you don't realize how slow sailboats are. So yeah, there you go.
Interesting comment from our old friend Khalid. Khalid, much loved, much valued member of the chat. Fucking terrible drinks monitor though, but we won't hold that against him. And he says, "Shaw makes balding look cool." Yeah, he's probably, he's rocking the male pattern baldness, isn't he? And
in the previous,
he's getting a bit.
In the previous shot, you could see the actually you can see the beach in the previous shot in the background.
Oh,
the one
really?
before these two, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
I thought it was
right there,
a little mishap.
Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah,
I thought that was some reference to an area of the scalp there, Mega Geek.
They did say though he's taking it back into the show, so maybe
he is.
Maybe they're meant to be there.
Yeah, they would have been there earlier if it was that close. But yeah.
While we've got this fabulous shot of the balding dome of the fabulous shore, favorite balding actors? Anyone?
Telly Savalas.
Submissions. Well, I mean, there's balding and it's completely gone. I'm thinking more,
Well, he never went bald. He did the Jesus film and he played Pontius Pilate and shaved all his hair off for that. And he liked it so much, he just kept it that way. Apparently,
Yul Brynner as well.
Yul Brynner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll table a good one from Brian Nicholson. Absolutely, with those widow's peaks, didn't he? Fabulous. I'll table a Sean Connery as but
he always wore a wig, didn't he?
He
Apart
did.
From
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
I'd
Bruce.
say
Bruce Willis, of course.
Ed Harris would be the
Claire
the
Balding.
king, I think.
Yep. Ed Harris embraced it though, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. Jude Law, as a couple of the chats famously say. Jude Law, I mean, good-looking man, everything, but he's really was never going to do anything about that horrific hairline, was he? Just went with it.
I know another good one. Louis Gossett Jr.
Well, I only know him as being bald. I've never seen him with hair actually.
Well, no, he done films where he had the bit around the sides.
Ah, okay.
Is George Clooney balding? I always thought he had a decent head of hair.
No,
grey, but it's good.
Kevin Spacey, good actor.
Oh yeah, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, you've never seen anybody so bald that actually looks like they've got some hair.
Yeah, cunning trick.
Somehow, two of our old favourites, Glitter and Wallace, get a mention.
Drink.
Shatner, was Shatner wigged up, was he?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, they're running out of actors because Brian's suggesting Duncan Goodhue. Glad suggesting Elton John.
He got thatched, didn't he, Elton John? The same thing with Nick Cage as well. So yeah.
That must have been a good wig Shatner had for Star Trek 4 when he was under the water.
But it was a thatch, wasn't it? I mean, they actually drilled all that hair into his head, didn't they?
Oh,
yeah.
Christ!
Why would you tell me that?
Well, because it's true. He wasn't wearing a wig. But yeah, he went bald at a very. I think when he was in his 30s, didn't he, William Shatner?
Drilled it into his hair. That sounds like 12th century medicine when they're trying to let the spirit
you know
out.
how they give, you know how they do the thatch on your head, don't you? They literally take hair from something else and they put the follicles in your head one by one. Would you believe? So they do that. So there you go.
Yeah, but that wasn't a transplant in Star Trek 4, though. That was a wig. They just glued it on really well.
Oh, was it? I don't know.
Bran left.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Since Bran left, we've gone back one slide. We're talking about baldness. Anyway, okay, let's get back to where it was. So who's saying not to put pressure on it?
Hooper saying it.
Yeah, because he's
obviously,
is he whistling here?
Yes, he's ignoring Hooper, and he's not taking into account that the ship is damaged, and he's just pushing it as hard as he can because he obviously wants the shark to follow them. But everybody knows it blew up. It's not a spoiler.
Mega, don't you think that it might just be an accident, Mega? But don't you think that it's deliberately a very, very narrow color scheme in this film? Just muted blues and grays and things. So when you finally see the blood, it's literally the first splash of genuine primary color.
Yeah, that's where he says to him, stop the boat, and he just pushes him away and just throttles it even harder, doesn't he, to make the boat move even faster? Yeah.
I think
throttles it more than YouTube with my channel.
There we go. The Reds, it's beyond, isn't it? It's beyond the max.
Yeah, very much so.
He's pushed it to 11, as they would say in Spinal
I must say, though, the performances between those three, even in this scene, was just really, really great. I mean, especially the bit where he pushes Richard Dreyfuss and tells him to mind his own business. Not in so many words, but that's what he does there, doesn't he? He pushes him away. So,
yeah.
I seen something.
Go on, Mel.
I seen something yesterday that said Steven Spielberg and Richard Dreyfuss had a falling out while making Close Encounters because Richard Dreyfuss was acting like the prima donna and being a bit of a knob, and so Spielberg didn't work with him again after that. Never gave him
that's not true. That's not true. And every book I've read on Close Encounters, and believe you me, I've read most of them. There's no reference to him being angry with Richard Dreyfuss. He directed Richard Dreyfuss in Always, and I can't remember the other film. So basically, I don't think that's true somehow.
I was wrong because I couldn't remember any other films, but Always was Steven Spielberg, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was.
I stand corrected.
So Richard Dreyfuss is the only actor who could have been the guy in Close Encounters. He's just the only person for that role.
Well, Spielberg wanted Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen,
terrible choice.
Well, Steve McQueen read, the story, right? So basically, Steve McQueen said he loves the script, and Spielberg went to the bar to meet him. And Steven Spielberg doesn't drink, but Steve McQueen does. And they sat there for hours talking about how great the script is. And towards the end of the conversation, Steve McQueen says, "You do realize I can't do this?" And Spielberg was like, "Why?" And he said, "Because I can't cry on cue. I can't do it." And so Spielberg said, "All right, I'll take the crying out of the script." And he went, "No, don't do that, because you'll bring the whole character down. You should keep it and find someone that can do it." So Spielberg was really heartbroken when Steve McQueen said that to him. So there you go.
But that's a good thing, though. I mean, that I would say that was good of Steve McQueen to have done that rather than take the part and fuck it up.
Yeah,
but
in fact,
you know what I mean by Dreyfuss has that kind of fussy, preoccupied, obsessive, neurotic energy that was necessary for the part.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, if you watch Bullet, so there's a thing when he made Bullet, the character said quite a lot in the script, and Steve McQueen said to the director, "Look, I can act, but there's any limit to my acting." And he said, "Would you mind if I gave some of the lines away to the actors?" And that's exactly what he did. So if you watch Bullet, he really his dialogue's very limited, but everybody else around him is talking. So that he knew his limits. That's the thing about Steve McQueen. He knew it. So there you go.
Could I bring, if he's not too busy putting up a shelf or an IKEA unit or something, can I bring Swappers in at this point? So you there with me, Swaps? Swappers, as our resident writer and man babies, if you don't already know, Star Wars Retold on YouTube, go give it a like, a sub, and a listen. Fantastic stuff. Swappers, what I want to ask you is, as a writer, is Jaws a classic case of you take a crisis and you ramp it up and you ramp it up again and you ramp it up again? Because we had, obviously, they go out on the boat, they realize the boat's too small, then they realize they haven't got the right equipment, then there's a fucking fire on the boat, and then the boat starts sinking. It's basically just ramping up the situational crisis more and more. Is that a bit of classic storytelling there, is it, Swappers, would you say?
It is. I mean, it kind of, back then, not too many films had done it, I suppose, really. So we were kind of still experiencing that kind of peril for the first time, or a lot of the audience were. And Spielberg kind of upped the pace for this kind of movie as well, with his directing and his writing and his screenplay. So it's part of what makes the film what it is, because it differs from the book quite a bit. Ian knows this.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere near as much hyperbole in it and as much kind of concussive action going on. So it's Hollywood, baby. That's all I can say. And that's pretty much what Spielberg was doing. He was kind of just pushing it to the edge and making sure that the audience got further and further to the edge of their cinema seat.
Yep. That's what he's good at. But I always say to myself that Spielberg is he's more or less a horror director. If you look at all his films carefully, there are some wonderful horror moments in the film. I mean, again, I would say, Temple of Doom. I would say Close Encounters. Do you know what I mean? They all had moments where you edge your seat and just like, no, this is not happening.
Even E.T. at the start.
Yep. So,
and the end.
Yeah.
Can we go back a slide?
Oh, we're going back a slide.
Back to the poster.
XP says we're only 5 slides in. Well, we're going back another slide. It's just occurred to me at this point. I'm empty again, there, man, babies. I've almost had as many double rums and cokes as we've got through slides, which is never a good sign. So, okay, let's hop back. There we go.
If we keep going back, we're going to finish halfway through the previous stream. But this reminds me of my childhood. That black smoke belching out of that doorway there. Reminds me of my mommy's roast chicken. Every Sunday, that was a scene.
Oh no!
Cremated chicken.
It's funny you say that, Mel, because Brown was telling me earlier this reminds him of his childhood. 3 middle-aged, stinky old men leering over him, sweating brows and half-open shirts and pants around their ankles.
He stopped going to the cinema after that.
see, okay. The shore is missing on that shot, so it was obvious that
Robert
the shore
Shaw.
was. Yeah. The shore in the other previous shot wasn't meant to be there. So
come on, folks, press that thumbs up button. Come on. Lazy fuckers. Yeah, come on.
You're like a fucking beggar outside Greg's, Brownie. You know what I mean?
Let's get to that point. Well, no.
Get me
they
a
don't.
pasty, please.
Listen, they don't beg outside Greg's anymore. They just walk in and walk out with free goods.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I literally saw that 2 days ago.
Yeah, they just do it.
Is Captain Hindsight the lead singer of Supergrass? I like the look of Captain Hindsight.
True story, this. Honestly, and I know you think I make this shit up. One time I was in, hello, I'm topped up again, folks. I was in the wonderful Preston town centre, or creme de la creme of the UK, and on the high street full of beggars, and thought I'll just quick cheeky Greg's, nice sausage roll to put me on, and there's a, how I can only describe as a tramp outside. And he had a dog. I think that's what pulled on the heartstrings. He had a dog, so I thought, you know what? I get 2 sausage rolls. In fact, I got 3 sausage rolls because I thought he might give one to the dog. Yeah, so 3 sausage rolls, please. That'll be £3. And it was one of those pound of sausage roll. Went outside and said to the tramp, "Here you go, mate. A couple of sausage rolls for you." You fucking stole the punchline. It's not even a joke. He looked in.
Well.
He looked in the bag and he did the proverbial Luke Skywalker over the shoulder and tossed the sausage rolls and said, "I'm a fucking vegetarian."
No way.
Oh, seriously.
What a twat.
So I kicked the shit out of him. I fucking stomped on his head. And I took his dog. Anyway.
When you said it was a tramp, I didn't know if you meant like some kind of lady of the night or something, like using an Americanism.
Well, I'm sure his PIP supplements have been cut, so karma, I guess.
You don't even live here.
George is right to point out £1 for a sausage roll. Yeah, I am going back to 2009 here, George.
I think they're about £2 now.
The glorious day.
Yeah. Well, on my Substack, Brownie, I just wrote an article, "The Dismal Decline of PMQs." Anyone wants to read that on my Substack? So yeah, I'm all about Britain. I might as well just live over there.
They've literally
believe me.
Chairs in there now, and they in Greg's you can sit and eat in there now.
Yeah, but they charge you more.
Really?
Do they?
Yeah, they charge you more if you want to eat in.
Apparently, I think the London branches, they're putting everything behind lock and key now.
Yeah.
I like this from Suli Jew. Apparently, beggars can be Jews.
That's very 2025, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just tell them what my mama used to tell me. If you're hungry, you'll eat it.
Agreed. Yes.
And you know what? I'm getting flashbacks and slightly pissed off now. If you could get 4 for the price of 3, and I paid for 3 and only got 3, I feel slightly hard done by.
There's a lot of homeless people in London now. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? When you think about it, they're building all these houses, and yet there's a shitload of people that haven't got
you're correct. There's loads of homeless veterans who have served in the military in the UK, and if you turn up on a boat, straight into a 4-star.
Oh, here we go. The immigrants again. The immigrants again.
We're starting again, I think.
No, if they'd have fought a wee bit harder and kept some land in the country where they fought in, they'd have been okay.
Yeah. Are we starting this again, Ruin?
Well, hey Mel, if you jocks had fought a bit harder, you'd still be speaking Scotch, wouldn't you?
That's not how it is. You seen Braveheart. That is 100% historical.
Oh, I know, Mel. Honestly,
we won our freedom forever. And
I watched Braveheart, Melvin. I swear I turned Scottish halfway through that film. I fucking love that film.
I want this to end.
Well,
so do I.
Being from Liverpool, you got a lot more in common with me than you do with Mega Geek, who's a Londoner. You got more people from Glasgow than you do from people with London. From London.
Well, but me and Mega Geek are talented directors, good looking, swarthy, strong jawlines.
So this boat here,
inspired by women, respected by men.
Very well, Swappers, excellent. Get it back on. Very good. This boat
back on track.
Yeah. Let's talk about the film, right? This boat here, the Orca, right? The Orca, back in the 70s when this film was made. Back in the 70s, look at it, full of black smoke. Today, it'd be full of black. Anyway, yeah. Should we?
Brandy, when you were in the clubs in the early 90s, Brandy, did you stumble out one morning and find yourself in the middle of the poll tax riots, and you were still like coming down from your drives?
That was slightly before my raving days.
Yeah.
This looks like a scene from your raving days, doesn't it, Brown?
Do you know what? Right, that looks very dangerous. I mean,
if you look at it, it was actually.
It was very dangerous. If you remember the scene in the film, he was inches away from that explosion.
Yeah, it literally blew up in his face.
Yeah,
that's how Michael Jackson set fire to his hair.
With Pepsi, wasn't it?
Using Pepsi for hairspray, not a good idea.
Yeah. I didn't know Pepsi was flammable.
Oh, and it's going backwards, isn't it? It just left the boat.
3 barrels.
Yeah, and he took 3 barrels down as well. As I said, right, it was bigger than the boat, the shark. So, you know what I mean? They didn't stand a chance. Let's face it.
Just look at that scene, yeah. You could not replicate that in a water tank in a studio.
No, you can't. But they wouldn't have had a wide shot like that, would they? If
It's
it was
there on the
realistic?
screen, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, I'm saying, yeah.
Well, you
This
could
shot
today.
here-
They just CGI it to death today.
Yes, they would. Yeah. Sorry,
But isn't it cool,
shot.
Mega, that like it's just at the moment where the director just gives you a little lull, a little plateau, just taking the tension off a little bit, like the rhythm of it is perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, Swappers, you were going to say?
Yeah, this shot here proves the that
round.
the Earth is round and not flat. Yes, all those flat surfaces.
Whee!
Suck it.
But as I said, right, only looking at this stream did I realize how big the shark really was, because I've seen this film multiple times. I never realized how big the shark was until I looked at these stills on this. The shark is like bigger than the boat. What chance do they stand? They stand no chance. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Oh my god!
There you go. We should do a stream about flat Earth. You could do a series of streams and call it "How fucking stupid are people going to be?" And it's like episode 1, flat Earth, and just basically roast every stupid theory out there.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
I can't remember that scene.
Oh, they're in shit now, aren't they? They are in
it's
serious shit
boat,
now.
or the boat's getting full of water.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag, but that's what my bed looked like in my 20s.
Oh, what? Three old men stood around.
It probably smelt like that as well, didn't it, Mel?
Yeah, three old men.
fire.
They were attracted to the smell.
Reeking of fish.
Is this the bit where he basically realised that he didn't stand a chance, so he asked Hooper to what the cage did or something?
We'll
like
get into that in a minute.
Yeah, this bit.
We've got super chat. Should we do the super chat?
Yeah, go on, Brown.
Okay. Ruddy, €5. Thank you, my friend. This week, a female lorry driver got stuck in my village's main road. She was a mess, and my mum bought her a bottle of orange. I was livid with mum.
So did she get stuck, or did she get stuck in her truck?
Don't
know.
Well, let's break it down. This week, a female, he's emphasized it in capitals, female lorry driver got stuck in my village's main road. She was a mess. I think she's had like a mental breakdown. She was a mess, and my mum bought her a bottle of orange. Is that like, you know, a recognized thing for someone's in shock or in a mental breakdown? A bottle
Maybe it was hot and just she was a bit flustered.
Is this meant to be a joke, but we just don't get the joke?
I don't know.
Ruddy, we need a follow-up.
She drove a lorry up, got out of the lorry.
Maybe it's meant to be some kind of retort. The sausage roll.
Okay.
story.
Yeah.
Obvious question. Was there any immigrants in it? Moving on.
Oh, Ruddy, we need a follow-up to that one, if you would, please. Okay.
Yeah, it is the bit. What can you exactly do with these things?
A homeless female lorry driver. That's the worst kind. I used to work in a place. It was like a warehouse, and there was this female driver came in, and she couldn't reverse. She couldn't put a trailer on the loading bay, and she tried for ages, and eventually one of the shunters reversed it on for her, and she kept on coming back, and she never could do it. And every time she came in, somebody had to reverse it onto the bay for her. You got to wonder how she ever passed a test, but eventually she came in, and one of the shunters gave her a load of lip, and she quit and left. Never came back.
Oh, damn. You're not allowed to do banter and lip anymore in the UK, are you?
But she was gone because she couldn't drive.
We've got a follow-up from Ruddy. It's a true story. It's not a gag. It's not something that's flown over our heads. It's a true story. She had a panic attack.
Oh, okay.
I've only ever
but Ruddy, you need to elaborate on the specificity of the orange juice and why you were angry with your mum, because that's the thing that's confounding us.
I know. I've got these visions of you know, Ruddy and his good mother observing this breakdown, and suddenly the first instinct is quick, go and quick, get the shop, get the Robinsons. You know, we need. She needs orange. She's having a breakdown.
Is
She was
Ruddy suggesting
into
that?
a diabetic coma.
Well, no, I think Ruddy might be suggesting that she was already self-conscious and embarrassed, and then his mum doing this made her look even more infantilized and childish, and so that's what Ruddy was suggesting is the embarrassment there. I guess.
What if it was the last bottle of orange in the fridge and it was Ruddy's?
That could be true as well.
He needed it for his vodka.
You know what it was? I bet she went in there and got a bottle of Lucasade with the orange wrapper on it.
Oh,
They don't sell them like that
ambiguous.
anymore.
This is still ambiguous. My shouldn't be encouraging female lorry drivers.
I think he means my mum. My mum shouldn't be encouraging.
That's a fair comment.
Well, wasn't she disencouraging the female lorry driver by saying, you know, dear, just have a little orange and let the men take over?
Maybe if the rumor gets out there that if you go and pretend that you got your lorry stuck in that village, people will give you free orange juice, and you just don't want to encourage that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. The funny thing is, we know Ruddy from many a stream. He's 47. Everyone, he's 47, living with his mum who buys stranded lorry drivers orange juice. That's
Listen. If you want everything free, just go to El Dorado, folks.
El Dorado.
He's insistent his mother shouldn't.
But I'm not getting the motivation here, Ruddy.
One thing to say to you, Ruddy. Does your mother know that you're out? Well, I can dance with you, honey, if you think it's funny. Oh, only the hardcore rapper fans.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Anyway, Mega Geek's going to bail on us if we don't cover this fucking movie.
Was the lorry driver a bull dyke and he was worried that she might make overtures to his mother? I don't know what the situation is. I just want closure. Give me closure, Ruddy.
There's a lot of debate in the chat about how old Ruddy is because he's got a picture of 1990s Paolo Maldini. So he
might be. As I said, I thought it was a joke at first. He said it's not a joke. So
she should have let it twist in the wind. Oh, Ruddy, you're a harsh man.
Oh God!
I'm fascinated by this story.
Well, it's not as if the orange juice would extricate her from the situation. She was still twisting in the wind, even though she still had orange juice.
Ruddy is about. He's 29 as much as he looks like his avatar. I would say. I'm not buying it, Ruddy.
You could have give her the orange juice, right, to keep her occupied, or you snuck round the back of the lorry and stole whatever she had in the back of it, or opened the door to let the immigrants out.
Welcome to Losing My Will to Live.
Losing.
I feel like taking all the elements of this story that Ruddy has given us and feeding it into AI and seeing what image it comes out with. Yeah.
Isn't that coming back? Because he's saying a Chinese person called Lu Xing Mai will lose his mind.
Welcome to Casual Racism on Echo
Brown's
channel.
gonna love this twist in the tale. She was a Polish driver.
Okay, yep.
I like the Polish.
Anyway, that's one hell of a
Can
detour.
we
19 seats left in the theatre.
Can we get on with it?
Yeah, we better had. So this is strychnine nitrate. We got any chemists on the panel who can tell me what that is?
Brown, you know.
But also, canonically, he's saying him, and he's an oceanographer and a professional, and he's saying canonically that it's a him. So that's canon.
Brown took a lot of this in the 90s.
Yeah, we used to do that in the 90s.
Yeah. It's poison. It's hard to poison sharks as well. Cyanide won't do it. Strychnine's one of the few that will.
We need. There's only one voice I can hear this in. Palpatine, if you would please, for this one.
Coming people in the chat with adventure. There's bloody Polish female lorry drivers coming over here, fucking our mums.
Oh God, the lore's getting deep on this channel. So, Mega Geek, get us back on track. There's we've got Hooper with his, let's say his crazy chemistry, and Shaw maybe a little bit skeptical, haven't we?
Well, Shaw is come to the conclusion that there's nothing he can do now since his boat is broken down. but he really wants to get the shark, obviously. So he asks him what he can do with his equipment, and Richard Dreyfuss says, "I can inject it if I get close to it. I can inject it with this thing, with this cyanide stuff."
I've got a complaint about this. I didn't think about this until now, right? He had the foresight to bring strychnine in case he needed it, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't bring a needle that would go through the skin. Why didn't he bring
did.
one of the?
No, he did.
Yeah, inside the mouth. But that's not the ideal way of doing it, right? You want one of them big needles that they use on cows, like as thick as your finger, and they could have shot him with a spear gun.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a story, isn't it? But I mean, he's assuming that he's going to be safe in the cage. But seeing how big the shark is, that's why Brody was saying you're crazy to attempt this.
There's a backup plan. They can just placate it with a freshly squeezed glass of orange juice.
Yeah. Does anybody remember the transition here, which is a really good transition to the next scene? Does anybody remember transition? Does anybody remember it? God, I'm talking to a bunch of normies here, aren't I?
When you say transition, it's just throwing me out of it completely.
That's because your mind's in the gutter. So basically, it's basically the transition. So the transition between one scene and another. So basically, I don't know if you remember it, where Richard Dreyfuss says, "If I can get close, blah blah blah," and then Roy Schneider says, something like, "You're crazy. You're going to attempt this," and then Richard Dreyfuss says, "Have you got any better suggestions?" But when he says it, the shot's on Roy Schneider. And then you see the cage come into shot as well. Anybody remember that bit in the film?
I just want Swappers to read that line as Mog. Can you read that as Mog?
I'm giving you gold here. You wanted to read it as Mog.
Falling on deaf ears there, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Oh,
Swappers, Swappers Mog. Is Mog in tonight? Swappers?
Yes, I've seen
Mog.
him. He is in.
Yeah, he is
All right,
in,
Mog. Hey, Mog. Hello, Mog.
I'll do this in honor of Mog in the chat, shall I?
Thank you.
I can get him in the mail.
Mega Geek, just to reassure you, I know you feel like the proverbial ruin having given his sausage rolls to the tramp and they've just been tossed aside, but I guarantee there's some man babies in the chat who enjoyed that breakdown. So
who's the drinks monitor? Because that there was like a
drink
reference to a shoplifter. Mog. Yeah.
Oh,
come on.
Well, that's
comments like that I don't condone.
Well, okay, but for the legal
legality of the channel, yes.
Mr. Brown Alliance channel does not condone any potentially offensive comments made.
What the
guests do is
an illegal bum immigrant. A bummigrant.
Mega Geek, I knew someone would appreciate it. Nissan Dong really enjoyed that transition.
Well, I do my best.
If this film was made today, all they need to do is cast Shooty Gatwa. He could just bum the shark into next week, couldn't he? Really? Black guy on the...
Drink, everybody.
Drink.
There it is. There it is. The cage. Look, it's the cage.
Nick Cage.
Or the pilot of Star Trek.
You see, he does have a needle. Look.
Poison. Just in case you had any doubt whatsoever.
Exactly.
Does he shave part of his beard there, or is he struggling to connect it up? Which one is it? I'm not sure.
It's probably the latter. But do you guys know that when he went under the water in the cage, it wasn't Richard Dreyfuss in the cage? It was the stunt guy, even though they had full body shots and.
Yeah, because they had a real shark. Those shots.
That was shot in Australia.
Shark. Yeah, real shark.
That real shark stuff was all shot in Australia. They hired a team to go out to Australia and shoot a great white.
Yeah, it just made it a little bit more credible, didn't it?
Yeah, that was the footage. They actually had someone like a midget in the cage when they shot it in Australia.
Small
I'm not joking.
Oh, no, here you go, MC. Here you go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it
he
was a
corrects
midget.
himself. Hello, MC.
No, it was
no,
person of
small person.
Yes.
God,
It
that's very
was-
inclusive, isn't it?
It
We
was
call them these
a
days.
midget.
No, you
So,
can't say that. That's
why
politically
can't I say it?
incorrect. I'll tell
Why
you why.
can't I say it?
Because they don't like being called midgets. They like being called people of Dinklage.
You know what they really like, though, don't you? If you pick them up and spin them around in the air and you see the little legs kicking, they absolutely love that. Yeah.
Okay,
They
ruins
don't,
you.
they don't actually care, though, do they?
They don't. They don't.
No, it's just the politically correct.
It
woke
is,
crowd.
and I don't subscribe to the politically correct. If a midget said to me, "That's really bad. Don't call me that," I won't call him that.
But they
what I
wouldn't
mean?
because they don't care.
I don't care. No.
Oh,
So anyway,
Side
yeah.
Effect says, my brother used to want to have a midget as a pet. Brownie,
Yes,
do you agree with this sentiment? Nobody tosses a dwarf?
well, they did in Alf, didn't they? Was it? No, he jumped
What?
him, didn't he?
No,
Remember
the
in
dwarf
Alf?
kicked arse in Elf, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he
Lord
did.
of the
Yeah, he
Rings.
did.
Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings, they tossed the dwarf. But I think
Yes.
I think in real world, for a dwarf to get tossed, he needs like a massage with a happy ending or something.
Mm.
True story, by the
I
way.
reckon that's his only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Brown, just give me 30 seconds. I need to go get a mixer for the old rum. I'm out
Okay,
of
so what we're
mixer.
doing then? So Hooper
Just
is
go back to the poster so we know where we are.
Hooper's injecting the poison into the syringe.
Cage being assembled.
That's right. So obviously he's not going to stick the thing with that. He's got the spare, isn't he?
The spear thing
with
with the
spare,
poison
yeah.
tip. Yeah.
So there you go.
I hope that poison's organic, because it would be unhealthy otherwise.
Mm. I mean, I don't understand how they thought this could work. I mean, the boat is tipping as it is already, and they put this heavy cage out in the water. It's like, huh?
Yeah,
I think you've got a point there. I did wonder whether this was I hate to be critical of such an almost perfect film, but should this have come earlier in the sequence of events?
It could. It couldn't because of Quint. Quint was very stubborn. He wanted to catch the shark on his own with his stuff.
Glory,
yeah.
Okay. But from a practical point of view, I assume you would want a perfectly level functioning boat rather than
from a practical point of view, they would have taken Hooper's boat.
Yeah, and it was down at that corner there. You would drop it over the other side to try and level up a bit, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
I think in them circumstances, anything heavy would have been thrown overboard, cage, all of that crap, and just get some buckets out and start bailing the water.
Now you see that boat is level there, but the last shot it was not.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Bit of continuity error there. But yeah, isn't that a scene where he goes, "I've got no spit," when he's putting his dog
when he's going in the water.
Yeah. Two observations on this scene. Hooper in a rather tight-fitting wetsuit. It's a slight paunch, but nevertheless carries it off pretty well. And Quinn seems to have acquired a headband.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, there was a jump in time when they stopped the boat and the boat exploded. So when he comes out of the out of that door, when he throws the thing to Hooper, he's wearing that green jacket and he's got that band around his head. So it indicates there's a jump in time. So there you go.
Power dynamic shift. Like Quint has lost his manic intensity. So that's quite interesting too.
Yeah.
He ran out of ideas.
Yeah. Oh, go on then, Brown. We're not going to have much more chance to do this.
Not Snog, Marry, Avoid, no.
Snog, Marry, Avoid, because you've now got Quinn with the headband. You've got Hooper in the latex bodysuit. And you've got, the old classic V-neck tee and the denims. from Brody. And you know what? Just to give you a get out of jail clause, I'll throw in the old canister as an option as well. So go. What's your snog, marry, avoid?
I knew you were going to do that.
Don't take too long.
Okay.
I'll go back to the poster.
Snog.
The canister.
Marry the canister.
Marry the canister.
Snog Schneider. Avoid Hooper.
Oh, what would you do? Quit with the headband on?
He's going to die, so I'm not bothered.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll clip that. He wants to snog. Which was it? Brody, wasn't it?
Moving on.
Okay. Here we go. It's quite ballsy, this, isn't it? Yeah, it's got balls of steel, this man, to get in the cage. Are we led to believe he's done this multiple times before? That's what gives him the confidence.
Probably.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Ain't got no spit.
Oh. Do we need Mog back in for this one, or?
I think we do. Mog?
I ain't got no spit.
Why do I always feel like I need a shower after I've had a large dose of Mog on the stream? Anyway, isn't it drink
everybody?
Drink? Yeah. Who's our damn drinks monitor?
Sly Jester.
Sleeping on the job. Well, no, there we go. Oh, he's already.
He's in. Yeah, he's
in. Can't keep up. Pseudo, yeah, and there we go. Well done, Sly Jester. You're on the ball. That's okay.
I just need to read this. This hurts. This is like a scything blow to my heart. Are we really surprised to be stuck on? Well, not stuck because we're going down. 4.55k subs. That hurts, especially from you. That hurts. It's going to take me a long time to get over that.
Yeah, used to think you were all right.
Yeah.
Used to think you were one of the.
I'm that cut.
I actually agree with him.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to be honest, Brown. I've been a long time supporter of the channel. I did unsubscribe this week. I just watched some of the streams back, and I thought, I can't have this shit.
The thing is, actually, I would say you actually don't need to unsub because YouTube is doing it for you.
Perhaps they think your voice is AI. I don't know.
I like Woody's comment in the chat. He says, "Will you do a 4K celebration stream?"
Oh yeah, hang on, hold
That'll
on.
That'll be Christmas.
Didn't you?
That'll be Christmas.
Didn't you promise us Attack of the Clones at 4K?
Yeah, that'll be Christmas. Don't worry. We'll get that booked in. Don't worry.
But Brown, let me put it this way: what would you sooner have? Would you sooner have your hardcore, dedicated Brown Alliance chat, or would you sooner have the thousands and thousands of pounds that the likes of a critical drink make every month?
That's a tough choice. Can I get? That's a very, very tough choice. Can I get back to you?
Okay, get back to me. We do have some confessions. Calling this segment "Confessions of the Chat." Not Brian Young says I unsubbed months ago for a laugh.
I know that anyway.
Yeah, you won't get demonetized for terrible content. You'll get demonetized just for falling below 1,000 subs again. Poor Danny.
I don't think they do that. I was told that once you pass the 1,000 subs and get monetized, even if you drop back under, they don't take it away from you.
Shall we see? So we find out.
From Steven Spielberg, I saw this in an interview yesterday. This is from the horse's mouth. They paid the midget $10,000 to go down to Australia or somewhere around South Africa to swim with the great white. They were in the boat. The great white was there. The great white was gigantic and aggressive, slamming against the side of the boat. And the midget literally fled and locked himself somewhere in one of the cabins in the ship and absolutely refused to participate. And so they squandered all that time and resources. So that's the actual story.
Wow.
But they get that amazing shot where the shark got stuck in the reel, didn't it? And it was like shaking all over the place above.
Yeah, that was really good. That
was a really good shot that they got.
Nim's been monitoring the subs. Apparently, Platoon unsubbed. And so did.
It's amazing how quickly you can fall out with one of your longest subscribers, isn't it?
And so did Trev, Lauren Chen too.
Lauren Chen was hot. Whatever happened to her?
Good tip
Well,
from Gavin.
ask Emma. He knows everything about Lauren Chen.
Hit the like button twice, folks. One to like it, and the second time, I believe, unlikes it, doesn't it? So,
where's Amelia Bedelia these days?
Yeah,
I think she unsubbed.
Even some of your loyalist fans, Brown, feel that they can
Well,
only
Amelia was there on Sunday. I saw her on Sunday.
can only give you a sub under a different name.
Oh, can we just get on with this movie? Because we're going to be doing week 5, and that will be.
Don't worry. We've got Blade Runner to get to. So here come the barrels. Hooper's underwater. Take another underwater drink. Is that the shark? Or is that the boat?
Yeah, that's a real one.
That's a real shark. Yeah.
Wow.
You can tell because the footage is grainier, different texture to it. Still nice though. It's got that National Geographic documentary kind of look to the grain.
Also, the do you call it a snout? It's kind of a lot more sharper than the actual model itself.
The fake one's not pointy enough.
Exactly.
I mean,
See,
pure.
That needle, you could have put that on the end of one of the spears on the spear gun and used it, and it would have worked.
Pure nightmare fuel.
Stick him in the mouth, inside the mouth, doesn't he, for it to work, for the poison to work?
Well, it's because he didn't have a needle big enough to go through the skin, but I think that's big enough to go through the skin.
Yeah.
And he loses
Oh
it.
shit! And he lost
drops it, doesn't he?
First go, gone.
Like a fucking Polish female lorry driver. He fumbles around, fucks it up, has a breakdown.
I'll just say again, my 9-year-old self watching this in the working men's club, blue smoke billowing through the working men's club, smell of alcohol, beer and fags, cigarettes. Watching this on 16mm, being riveted to this.
I saw this 3 times in the cinema.
Riveted.
This moment, the film broke.
Oh, no.
It broke, and everybody started screaming, what's going on? And then the manager came out and said, don't worry, folks, we're on it. I think he said, what is it? So it'll be back on in 10 minutes. And he goes, take advantage of the the sweet counter and blah blah blah. And everybody just got up and went and got themselves a drink, and and the lady came round. You remember in the old days when the lady came round?
That was amazing. The Shirettes were fantastic with the little
came
torch.
round, and with the choc ices and stuff, and people just got up and bought choc ices. Yeah.
Swappers, can we get Mog's answer to this question? I feel like
we're talking about cigarettes, by the way, folks, for our American friends.
Come on.
Jimmy Smith in the chat says, what does that smell like?
Do you know what? In those days, right, the smoke from cigarettes, they were really lethal. I remember my eyes streaming with water because it was so bad, especially when you went to the cinema.
Drink, by the way.
It was crazy, absolutely crazy. And in the pubs as well. I couldn't stay in there for very long because of the cigarette smoke.
Everybody in my family smoked when I was growing up as a kid. So I was on 20 a day, probably 30 a day, passive smoking.
It was worse in the car because I'd be in the back seat.
The car.
And Mum and Dad would both be smoking. And then they would try to alleviate it by rolling down the window, which means you just get straight by orange and grey ash. In the back.
Good old days.
My dad used to fix TVs, so he'd have fag. He'd have a cigarette in his mouth with the ash falling out, and he's like fixing the TV with his iron. What is it? Soldering iron. Yeah, he used to fix TVs because people used to pay him to fix the TVs. And what he used to do, he used to blow smoke rings in my face when I was looking at him. So there you go.
That's nice.
We've got an allegation from the chat. Marigold says Amelia's just a guy pretending to be a woman. Who would do that? Well, let's cross the swappers. Swappers, who would do something like that? I don't know. You got any insight for us?
A guy pretending to be a woman. Pretending to be a woman.
Well, that's almost borderline controversial these days,
Very
isn't it? I mean, anyone
2025,
could be
isn't it? Yeah.
anyone could be whatever they want to be. Let's not
Just walk down your high street and you probably see it everywhere. I would have thought these days.
Just remember, biological is the buzzword.
Oh, we're inclusive here on the
Amelia
Brown
has
Line.
a gendered soul. Tense instrumental music playing.
Rude?
Yeah, I remember this one distinctly. It was the music that the fucking tramp was playing on his headphones outside. Greg tossed my sausage roll, paid for with my hard-earned
Is that a
money.
true story?
He tossed it over his shoulder like fucking
Is that
Luke
true?
Skywalker tossing his lightsaber. Absolutely true. Honestly,
Was that
I know.
before? That was before Last Jedi? So is that where you got that idea
2009.
from? Is that where you got
Well,
that idea from for the
yeah,
movie?
it was burnt into my memory. I can almost see the sausage roll rotating through the air as it flew over his shoulder, and yeah, that's exactly where I got the inspiration from. Yeah.
I wonder if that tramp was the same guy who took a dump in the urinal from that other story.
Oh, that was many years later, but could well have been actually. Yeah.
Talking about taking dumps. I mean, I know Hooper dropped his instrument here, but did he also drop that turd as well?
No. It's a rock.
Okay. Drink, everybody. Oh, look at that.
English teeth. Take a drink, everyone. British teeth, or is it English? I can never remember. British. Yeah. Do you not get anything out of this one, Melvin? You're part of it.
What have I done now? Part of what?
British teeth. Echo. Bear in mind, you're basically all your lockdown, your end, are descendants. Can we include you in the British teeth gang?
Somehow I don't know how we got out of that. I don't know what happened. Maybe we had fluoride.
It's English teeth. Sorry, Brian's correct. English.
Well, he would say that. Brian's fucking Scottish, isn't he? I mean,
that's what all the boat people are wanting now, though, isn't it?
I mean, if we're going to differ,
on the beach talking. They rock up on the beach and get free English teeth. Over to you, mate.
If we're differentiating, I would say Scottish teeth is only generating worse images in my mind. Let's have a teeth off, Brian. Come on, get online. Let's have a teeth off right now. In fact, let's get this teeth camera on. Let's have a teeth. Now I know I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark here, folks. They're not bad, are they, for an old fucker? They're all there.
Can I do a shameless plug? This is my first ever music release.
Oh.
Check it out, everybody.
Honestly.
30 years in the making, that, everybody. 30 years in the making. I had a dream 30 years ago. Check it out.
Anybody listened to it or anybody brought it so far?
It's the Phobos has bought it. He likes it. Listen, folks, if it'd be £1.88, well spent. Thank you, folks.
How much did they take? Is it percentage more or less than YouTube takes?
It's signed to a label. He takes his half, I get the other. And obviously Beatport will take their slice. But it's not about the money. But if you could help me out, I'd love it.
Please do. Come on. We owe Mr. Brown.
See if we can get it into the Beatport Top 100. That'd be just... If we could get it into the Beatport Top 100, I would be just cartwheeling. But anyway.
Yep. All 84 people here will get you into the top 100.
See, MC. Cheers, MC. It's great. Thank you, my friend.
He's a talented audio engineer, is Mr. Brown. We take the piss, but...
what key is it in? Can't remember.
Melvin... Can we just quickly get you to read this one out, please?
George's Rex wrenched. Scottish teeth don't fall out; they're too tight. Maybe something
true.
To that. There may be something to that.
Fucking true is that.
Drink in honor of Brune's first track.
Yes. Oh, get in.
Brian's never had a filling.
Because he's got no teeth, that's why.
You've never had the right tutor, have you, Brian? That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to be back in a minute. I need a refill.
Okay.
Oh, look at that drink, by the way.
I'm going to have to get something to sell so I can start dropping links in here. It must be lucrative or everybody wouldn't be doing it.
Well, you won't believe how well my Aber Attack Facebook account's done from these streams.
How many you got now?
Actually,
look,
37?
let's do 38 we're up to.
Hey.
Do we see if we can get it to 40 by the end of the year? That would be an achievement.
Get somebody to drop the link again. Again, I'm not on Facebook, so I can't find it.
I know. I'm sure most of you have. Tell you what. There we go. Go and if you're on that fucking garbage Facebook, I know it's hateful piece of shit, but if you are, or just go and yes, Side Defeats, at least one of them is. So go and give it a like. Go buy Brown's track, like Aber Attack. What were the other things you need to? Go watch Star Wars Retold. What else is the gang? Go and watch Rebecca Gold, obviously, and give it a good rating on IMDb. Not as good as The Last Jedi, but still pretty damn good. What else have we got? Are you selling anything, Melv? Go sub to Echo Chamberlain.
I've not got anything to sell, but I'm going to have to work up now because I think this is a good ploy here. Just keep on dropping links in there. So I need something to sell. Gigolo for hire, how would that be?
My Indiegogo page for my album is now up to $300 from some backers.
Really?
So that's nice. And 11 days left. Yeah.
Production's
expensive.
Drop the link. Drop the link.
You should, for that kind of thing, speak to Tomby about that because he's musically gifted. He can make tunes and produce stuff and things.
Okay.
Might be cheaper than a real person doing it.
Mel, I put this in the private chat. Can you put that in the thing for me? Because I can't. For some reason, I got to be a new comment person.
Are you a mod? A mod should be able to do it. You're a mod, aren't you?
Hold
on, I'm doing it.
Wrong. Okay, cheers. Anyway, back to the film.
Yeah, back to the film. We're underwater still. And it's not going well. He's lost the syringe, hasn't he? And the shark is going the proverbial ape shit. And there's something unsettling about these underwater scenes, isn't there? Really is like claustrophobic and dark and shitifying, if we're honest.
I think that was incidental. I think he probably would have rather it was a bit clearer, but just not really possible when you're using real sharks in the real sea.
Yeah. Well, it works though, doesn't it? It works.
Maybe you should have used
is coming from. That's the
done
thing.
it in the Caribbean or something where the water's a bit clearer. Maybe. Don't know.
No, it's Australia they shot those scenes in.
No, but I'm saying maybe should have done it in the Caribbean where the water's a bit clearer.
Maybe.
No, I like the murk. The murk adds to the claustrophobia.
Also, they didn't know it was going to do that when the shark did that, so they played it into this scene. Yeah, which is quite interesting.
So we know they used the dwarf. They made the cage smaller as well.
They did, yeah.
What?
Yeah, so to make it look really big.
Brownie, tell you what we've not heard for a while. Can we have your Jamaican accent on this one, if you would?
Hello.
Oh,
hello.
Has he gone?
Come on, Brown.
Are you there, Brown? Are you there?
What's he doing?
He's the first one to complain about audio quality, and he's bailed on us. Sort of. Well, I'll tell you what. We go to Swappers instead. Go on, Swappers. Give us a Palpatine on this one.
Sword in the storm, wrenched. Yes, says in the chat. I still have all my own teeth, man. They are in the jar in the cupboard, man. Yeah, right, some teeth.
That is a Palpatine, a Jamaican hybrid. You don't get that on Friday Night Tights, do you? If anyone's keeping count, that's my 5th double rum and coke.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, Brian. What's going on?
Mic issue. Sorry, folks.
Clown show. What are you doing, man?
How can you demolish so many rums and cooks? It's unbelievable.
Well,
No, you
we're
don't.
talking over each other, so I didn't hear anything.
Well, anyway, on with the film.
Well, on with the stream. They're pulling him in, aren't they? It's not worked.
Yeah, the beam gives away, doesn't it? And it almost kills Brody, but it misses him. And they decide to pull the cage back up.
Interesting choice of focus here on the what is it? The ladder?
No, it's the beam, isn't it? That they just hook the chain onto the beam so they can bring up the cage.
English teeth? Drink for English?
We're going to super chat. Have we done it?
No, I don't think we have. Go on, let's get going.
Here you go. Megath, Spider-Man, Wrenched, €5. What do Brown and the Olympics have in common? I don't know. They both make pretty fine tracks. To all, fave Jaws-like film plus.
Oh,
Why that?
I thought it was going to be a piss take, but it was actually quite a pleasant compliment.
Thank you, my friend. Fave Jaws-like film.
I've got an alternative version of that one, and I'll leave the chat to write the punchline.
No, just leave it. Go on.
What does Mr. Brown and the Special Olympics have in common? So get on that one, chat, and we'll review your answers in a moment.
Favorite Jaws-like film? I like Jaws too.
I like Deep Blue
like
Sea.
Jaws too.
Yeah, that's all right. Deep Blue Sea. Yeah. Anybody else?
I like the shark movie with Blake Lively in it. I've forgotten the title of.
The Shallows, was that?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that was very good.
What's the one with the giant alligator?
Alligator.
Alligator?
No, God, it was like an alligator. It was
The Meg?
Lake Placid, was it?
Lake Placid. Yeah, Lake Placid.
Yeah, that was a crocodile.
Oh, damn.
Damn, God. You always ruin everything. That's why they call you Ruin. You ruin.
There was a sequel with Mr. Brown in it. Instead of the crocodile, they renamed it to Lake Flaccid.
He's here all week, by the way.
Lake Placid was a good movie.
Swappers, you may have won the chat, and you're not even on the chat. This is fantastic.
Or was it the porn parody? I'm not sure. But, yeah.
I like that one.
Anybody else? Ian, favorite Jaws like?
I don't know. I do. You know what? I went to see Orca when it came out because of the success of Jaws. It wasn't bad. It was just a stupid movie. But I thought it was okay for what it was.
I thought Orca was a terrible movie. What a waste of Richard Harris. Richard Harris made a lot of bad movies though for such a good actor.
Yeah, he didn't care though. He just wanted the money.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't blame him because he had a serious alcohol habit. He probably went through a lot of money.
Bo Derek was in Orca. She got her leg chewed off, didn't she, by the orca?
Oh, was that her?
Yeah, it was Bo Derek. Yeah.
Okay. Right, moving swiftly
you
on.
Could say,
Cheers, mate.
You could say Tremors is a kind of a Jaws-like movie, couldn't you?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Brown, I'm going to need a bigger bottle, by the way.
You're just glugging it down, haven't you?
Quote a certain film. Anyway, back to the movie. We don't want to keep this going more than another 2 or 3 weeks. Do you think, Brown? What do you think? Anyway,
if you're on stage in the Abbott group, will you be blotto beforehand, or do you need to be able to play the guitar properly? What's the strategy?
A couple of looseners is okay. Yeah, just a couple of looseners, but I've not in the ABBA band. I've played rather fucking plastered in the Def Leppard tribute band, and it was a bit of a shit show, to be honest. There was all over the fretboard, as they say. But
I just can't imagine
not
a
a
bum
good
note and a bum note and Love Bites. That would sound terrible.
Oh yeah, no one wants to put a bumming in Love Bites, do they? No.
Brown. Scroll up to Z's comment.
Is he in? Honestly,
yes.
It's turning into the best night ever.
You got to see it. You got to see Z's comment.
Go on, read it then.
Z3PO in the chat says,
Wrench Motorsport.
Wrench Motorsport says, I went to see Free Willy and I couldn't find any cock anywhere.
What about Free Willy 2?
Oh yeah, good point.
He's here all week.
Brilliant.
What was that film with what was it? Flipper, and it had Paul Hogan in it, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
You ever see that
Yeah,
one?
it was called Flipper. Yeah,
And
yeah,
with the guy from what is it?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he was in it as well.
That was a TV series as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yep.
With Mungo Jerry's Summertime. That's the theme song.
Mungo Jerry.
Oh, look at that.
What a
Drink
shark.
for English teeth, folks.
Is this the bit where he jumps on the boat? The shark jumps on the boat.
Oh,
That's
every
not
day
bad
I'm reminded of my ex.
That's not bad considering that's not real, as in not a real
Yeah.
shark, is it?
That's pretty good.
As I said, right, it doesn't spoil me. I know it's a rubber shark, but it doesn't spoil my enjoyment watching this because you're so taken aback by the performances from all three of them. You just go with it, don't you?
Yeah, I think you're just in awe of it's practical now. We've got to the stage where because it's practical, we can appreciate it because it's real.
Yeah.
Ian, do you remember the monster movie of in the 70s, Gorgo? Remember that?
Yes.
That was the 60s, wasn't it, or the 50s or something?
60s?
That was an old black and white one, wasn't it? Was it black and white, Gogo?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was a puppet, and its mouth just like flapped open and closed, didn't it? It's like a little flap, like it'd been made on Blue Peter or something out of cardboard.
Yeah, that was like the British version of Godzilla, Gogo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I really enjoyed it as a kid, but just think these effects, even though they were limited, are far better than that. Far better. So,
much better.
At least his mouth's not flapping open and closed like a bit of cardboard.
Yeah, do you know what? I'd rather watch this than that last Jurassic Park film I saw. None of those dinosaurs felt real to me. None of them, even though they. All right.
Is this the latest one, Mega? Or
the latest one.
Really?
The latest one. You can tell they're CGI. This is the problem with these films these days. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Your mind immediately goes they're CGI, so you don't accept it. Well, for me anyway, I'm pretty sure kids love them, but
what a shame. Well, I mean, in a still, it's kind of like it could be a guy in a suit, but no, it's still.
It does look like a submarine.
It works. It works, though. It works. As I said, the reason why it works is because of the performances of those two actors. And even though when the shark actually bites Quint, you can see one of the rubber tooth bending on his chest. Do you know what I mean? But you still accept it, though. As I said, you still,
This film suggests that the shark has a certain level of extra intelligence. Which probably wouldn't be in real life.
No. It feed round the
a shark wouldn't do this.
No, and once it's had its fair, it's I think it's very rare that it would stay in that vicinity. It'd probably just go off somewhere else.
Do you think it's gone this? Do you think the shark has gone this time? It's personal.
Yeah, more or less. But this is stupid because a shark would never do that. But
who cares?
It's a movie, exactly. It's you're caught up with it because of the performances, aren't you? So.
Swappers, could we consider this for the Up the Arse Corner submission, do you think?
I was just going to say, hang on a minute. Look at who's just commented in the chat. Look, Star Wars Retold. Oh, look at that.
There we go. Whereas mine's in the gutter along with my 2 sausage rolls. That's brilliant. Now that's honestly this.
Oh, fucking hell! This was horrendous.
It's absolutely fucking. Even now, I'm like, it could be the booze or but this is terrifying. It's chomping its way through the boat, and you've got Quint scrabbling his feet, haven't you? Oh, it's horrendous.
9 years old, working men's club.
And
Mega Geek, what's the opposite of it? Shit.
It's great.
Great.
It's great, everybody.
It's great.
Just savour that because he won't say that again in a long time.
You know what? Right. I like the bit where he grabs him, doesn't he? And his hand just slips as he's trying to keep him up. So that's horrible.
It's
He starts
great.
kicking at it, doesn't he? He starts kicking at it
Yep.
when the mouth opens and stuff. So it's a really horrible way for him to go, isn't it? Really, considering.
Because bearing in mind, he's seen this before when the Missouri went down.
Indianapolis, you mean?
Yeah, India.
The Missouri as well, though. They probably had a lot of trouble with sharks in that one as well.
I've got a question for Echo, if we could. Echo, not really an issue in our part of the world, sharks. It feels like something which is, affects more exotic climates, but I believe it, more commonplace down your part of the world. Does that make a difference? Does it hit home a little more?
No, again, if you had Robot Head on, then they've got issues with the great whites, and they'll have some of the main beaches. They've got to have the shark nets, like somewhere out to sea, like
shark towers as well.
Yeah, bounded across the cove so that they can't get through. So, but it's rare. There'll be like 4 or 5 a year, maybe, and that's considering that Australia's like a whole continent. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's usually bull sharks as well in Australia that do attack people. Anywhere actually. Usually, if there's a shark attack, 9 times out of 10 it's a bull shark. New Zealand, I think, is safe because New Zealand is the water there is quite cold. So there's nothing between New Zealand and Antarctica.
Okay, apparently I'm getting my films mixed up.
Rue, is there a screen projecting while you're performing in the ABBA group? Is there a screen in the back?
Well, occasionally, depends on the the size of the gig. Why? I feel like you're setting up for.
No, I just wanted to know if you'd ever replicated that the image where the 2 girls are standing sideways and the other guys. You never replicated that?
Well, we do, but we do our own take on that one. So what happens is me and Benny get together. Benny stands side on, I kind of face him, and then simultaneously we drop our pants Hugh Edwards style, and you get the fabulous silhouettes in the background of
drink, everybody. Drink. One of the sacred names.
Well, watching you guys got to be cheaper than watching the projected versions of ABBA, isn't it? Was it Wembley Stadium?
Yeah, not cheap at all. But
they built a theatre to.
They did, yeah.
Just for that. Yeah.
Apparently, it's amazing. Apparently.
Yeah. Oh.
Poor old Quincy.
Oh, is he getting chomped on here?
No, he's trying to grab something because he's sliding.
Did they set up the canister a few scenes ago? Just on its own, the canister just on its own. That was setting this up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the porn parody of this film, Jugs, Quint was definitely getting chomped on in the scene. There was definitely a lot of chomping going on.
I mean, in a still, it doesn't. I mean, imagine the screen time, and this was barely a second or two, but
50 years ago, we're fucking shitting yourself.
We're looking at it with eyes of the 2000s or even the 80s or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But in the 70s, a lot of people shit their pants when this thing was happening. You know what I mean? I remember when I was in the cinema, it was deadly silent when this was happening.
Yeah.
Oof.
Was that when the cat sprang out at you in that flea cinema?
No, that was earlier in the film. Oh. And that actually happened twice to me. One when I was watching Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and when I was watching Jaws. Yeah, because that cat lived in the room. The cinema was called the Ruby. It lived in there. Everybody knew the cat. I can't remember what name they gave it, but everybody knew it. Yeah, it's quite funny. They actually had the cat to get rid of the mice in the cinema. Wow. So the cat will be running around killing mice. So there you go.
Yeah. Robert Shaw really sells the seed, doesn't he?
He does.
He
does. Yeah. It's funny, right? Because He gets killed this way in Jaws, and he gets electrocuted in Taking the Pelham 1, 2, 3.
He does. Well, he electrocutes himself, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
This is so fucking good.
Shaw's selling it, isn't he? In this bit,
So fucking good. Because he knows how bad it is. He's seen all those people get chewed up before.
Shaw conveys that he real years.
Oh,
that's the bit with the rubber tooth scene.
Yeah.
Look at that. You can see it bend. Yeah, it's right under his arm there. You can see it bending, the tooth.
Oh,
But
yeah,
There's another shot as well.
Can you see all the blood everywhere as well?
blood, that was,
That's Shaw's blood. Drink.
Oof. I think they needed a different model for this scene, didn't they? They needed them shark jaws not to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with you ever see Lethal Weapon when he jumps from the roof with the guy, and you can see the handcuffs coming off, don't you?
Yeah. Oh,
same thing with that as well. So, yeah.
It's where he just goes like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's funny, right? Because that blood is the real color of blood. And in the 70s, do you remember they used to have orange blood?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Just go
Do you
back
remember that Western Soldier Blue?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was quite graphic with the blood and gore, but it was the wrong color.
Yeah, it was the wrong color. Yeah.
That's just fantastic, isn't it? So terrifying.
I mean, even though you knew the shark was fake, you didn't care because the whole performance and all the effects just completely overruled all of it.
But as I said, it's the performances. It's his performance that sells it. You know what I mean? When you were in the cinema, when I first saw it in the cinema, I was terrified of this scene, and even though I knew the shark wasn't real, it got everyone in the cinema. What is he doing? You're going to be on the ground in a minute, mate.
Number 6. That's number 6. There we go.
God.
I think you need to show us how much rum you're putting in that, because I don't believe you.
Well, you go back on the stream. You saw where it started. It was up past the where it says Rum Company line, and now we're down here, roughly in line with Captain Morgan's belt buckle.
So you've had the equivalent of like one decent glass, one pint.
Well,
you've only had about a pint. What's wrong with you?
For a Scotsman, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, back to Shaw, dying like a bitch. No, dying like a hero. Dying like a hero.
Well, not really. He wasn't a hero, was he? No.
Oh, no.
He's a bloody idiot, wasn't he? He could have. Yeah, he could have avoided all this if he listened. If he wasn't
so boring film, though.
I know. That's the reason why. Just saying, he died like a bitch. Let's face it.
Well,
that's a good comment.
Didn't he go down stabbing?
He did, with the knife. He had the knife in his hand, but he didn't get a good stab in, did he? Because it was chewing him. So yeah,
it's a good comment.
Melvin spills more on his tie, apparently.
Hey, would you blame me?
What's the tie?
Literally just spilt my drink down my top as I read that out. So ironic.
I remember ties. That was that thing they used to make me wear to go to school. I remember them.
When we were going to school, we literally had to learn how to tie them. But today, the kids have just got clip-ons, haven't they? It's ridiculous.
As soon as I got to school, as soon as assembly was over, the tie came off and it was tied around my head like an Apache for the rest of the day.
I think everybody used to do that.
Oh, look who's in everybody. Captain Quince from the grave.
No way. Fancy turning up just after he's dead.
But there's a sense of fate. I mean, Quint's death, the drama of it is that it's inevitable. And that's the foreboding and the portent and the drama of it is that at some stage from his story, when he says it, about the Indianapolis, it's kind of set that he only has one character arc that can only end in one way. So that's the drama.
Maybe,
Again, if the shark had have just eaten, it
would just disappear. Yeah, but this is a movie. This is a Hollywood movie, so it's got to do things like this. Yeah. It's essentially. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just think, is it a film about survivor guilt in some way, some psychological way? that he survived the Indianapolis and all these other people didn't, and survivor's guilt can linger there at some latent.
So it was his mission to get rid of sharks.
Yeah.
No, I think just at some psychological level, there's something in there.
I think you could probably find something like that if you're looking for it, but I agree with what Mega Geek said last week, that this film isn't really that deep. It's everything is on the surface here. There's no inner meaning.
No.
But the Indianapolis scene was added later. It wasn't in the book. That was added while they were doing the film. So I wouldn't say the film is about that, although you could. It's something you could explore, I suppose.
It's a texture.
See Quint's flesh hanging off the teeth.
So did it actually eat Quint? Is Quint in there somewhere, or
Quint's in there? He's in there.
So he could still be saved.
I think he bit him in. Well, it
bit him in half.
Bit him in half. So basically, his other half might be floating around in the water.
Yeah,
he's ended up like a Darth Maul. Oh,
yeah,
with robot legs.
Yeah, in the book, around him, right?
The third or the fourth one.
Sorry, go on.
Was it the third or the fourth one with that stupid thing where the guy's got his hand sticking out with the hand grenade? Remember that?
Jaws 3D, that was. That was Simon McCorkindale's hand.
Brilliant.
I think it was Simon McCorkindale.
Oh, sorry.
So, crucial part of the movie. This is like, basically, this shot here reminds me of an Englishman with a what's-it in his mouth. But what's actually happening here is the shark has taken the canister, hasn't it? And it's it kind of, I don't know what the kind of there we go, thrusts it in its mouth, and then it kind of
Brody's
goes away.
Lucky, isn't he?
Yeah.
Brody's lucky that it didn't swallow it; it just kept chewing it as it kept coming towards him.
This bit was really silly, though. You got the shark coming along with its head right out of the water. That was ridiculous. Like,
but apparently, it was better than the conclusion they had in the script. So,
in the script, it was just who's swimming along, and then it died. It just died because it was harpooned so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, the boat's just completely knackered here, isn't it? And
it'll be okay. Coat of paint, it'll be fine.
But I think they had two, didn't they? They had two boats when they were filming. Oh
my God.
Look at the size of it, though. That's what I'm saying. They never stood a chance in that small boat.
No. What did we miss? What happened to Hooper? And we know he does make a reappearance, obviously.
Yeah, he swam away. He swam off. Yeah,
right.
swam off.
Amazing.
The thing is, though, in the script, he was gonna get eaten, but they changed their mind, didn't they?
Yeah, look at that, everybody.
In the book, Hooper gets bit in half.
He does,
and Quint gets drowned because he gets tied to the shark with one of his ropes on one of his harpoons, and the shark just pulls him out in the water and drowns him like Ahab and Moby Dick.
That's right.
Just wondering, Brownie, would this be a solution to the migrants issue in the channel? Maybe introduce some sharks?
Introduce Jaws.
Sure. Well,
here you go, punchable face, Reg. That boat can still carry 75 people to the south coast. It can indeed, mate.
Oh, look at this. This is
El Dorado.
This is what's Brody prodding it with here? Is it
spear?
Yes, the spear, yes.
Yeah. And
it's like, what do you call that? It's like a gaff or something. What's that called? Is it a gaff?
It's like somebody help in Venice.
Is it what they pull the there's like a hook thing on the end, but there's a spear thing as well, isn't there?
It looks like with the undulation of the it just looks like with the undulation of the ocean there, that looks like they're quite close to shore when they
were. They were.
It's agonizing as a kid when the whole ship is sinking and it's just the mast left. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
so perfect.
That whole cinema erupted with cheers when he shot it. I remember.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I remember that when that happened.
Drink, everybody.
Yeah, underwater drink.
Real shot as well.
There we go. It's a real hero.
Mega, I get the feeling they had to make the decision to ADR the line. Like he says, open the thing. I need to see the canister. He says some line in ADR just to make it specifically clear for the audience.
I think that he said it on the day, but I mean, it's obviously he said "smile, you son of a bitch." I mean, that he could only say that.
But before that, he says something.
He says,
yeah.
God, I can't remember what he says. Yeah.
Is that
it true? Yeah, is it true that if you fire a bullet into the water, it's completely useless once it hits the water?
No, it'll slow down a lot faster, and you're not going to be very accurate because obviously, if you're hitting at an angle, it'll change direction slightly, and then it'll slow down rapidly.
So I was told that if you jump into the water and people will shoot at you, the bullet, once it hits the water, it'll just basically it's completely null and void. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't.
Well, it depends what angle
like in
it hits the water.
movies or something. Like I say, in the movies, they like
not immediately. If you're near it, it's still going to kill you. You know, and depending on the gun, depending on how powerful the gun is.
Is that foreshadowing Saving Private Ryan?
Force Ghost.
Yes, it does. It don't work, Mega Geek. What are you referring to?
The bullet.
Bullets.
Yeah, because I read that. Yeah, the safest way to escape people shooting at you is to dive in, and the bullets won't even touch you. Once you hit the water, the bullets stop, and it doesn't go any further once it hits the water. That's what I was.
Whoever said that to you wants you to die.
Yeah. Now I saw it on a YouTube channel. One of the myths about movies.
Well, if you're quite, okay, if you're quite close to the bullet when it hits the water, you probably stand a possibility of getting injured. But
because, like they said in this video, like in Private Ryan, when all the bullets are going like that, they said that won't happen because once it hits the water, it slows down instantly. So it'll just be like floating. Was it shells and stuff? So, but anyway.
Oh, they proved it on MythBusters. Oh, very good.
They did, yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. This is a good shot, isn't it?
There we go.
Yeah, here it comes.
It's slightly convenient that shark doesn't swallow the canister fully, isn't it? It's just kind of wedged there in its mouth.
Yeah.
It's because it's full up with quints. That's why.
Oh, no, Quint's still there, thrashing around, trying to get out.
He's holding his breath, waiting for his moment, and then Roy Scheider kills him.
There we go. Well,
you son of a bitch.
I was going to ask someone to do it, and he's done it for us. There we go. Smile, you son of a bitch. It's a great line.
Drink, everybody.
Honestly, in terms of heroic moments, this has got to be right up there, surely?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, Spielberg, right, basically, he created the climax from, if you look at other movies before then, they had really weird climaxes. Like, if you look at all the famous... So all the famous movies in the 70s, like for instance, Cool Hand Luke, didn't exactly have a nice ending to that film. And most films, they were just kind of peak out, don't they? But I think Spielberg created the explosive ending in movies, you know?
Swappers, did Jugs have good climaxes?
I was gonna mention it, yeah, but I thought I'd let Ian speak.
Jugs, is that the porn parody?
That is the porn parody, indeed. Yeah.
The porn parody is.
I've got a question for you, Mr. Brown. Courtesy of Ruddy. If this was the greeting that the boat migrants got from the RNLI, would it change the situation?
I think it'd finish. The migrant crisis would finish that day.
We need Brody and an AK-47, yeah, or whatever he's got. It's probably like a Winchester, isn't it? So I don't know. Oh, there it is.
Oh, look at that.
Now,
really.
What you've got there is, if you look closely, it's
looks like a fish.
Well, it's actually that's part of Quint's jawline, jawbone.
I was going to say they could redo this bit at the end, couldn't they? Like George Lucas tampering with the original. Spielberg could come in and CG Quint flying out screaming.
Top half of his body.
Make 3D and have his face flying towards the screen.
Do you know what, right? I'm really glad that they never touched this and try and touch things up in this movie at all. Like you could easily go in and touch a couple of things up, but I'm glad they didn't.
That's what Hugh Edwards said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Spielberg did famously touch up E.T., where he removed the guns.
He did,
the guns from the soldiers, the policemen.
And he put it back, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was that a real shark that they killed for that shot? Because it looked real.
No.
You know, the underwater shot?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
The water was real.
Right, brace yourself for this, man, babies, because I think we've got perhaps one of the genuinely great questions from the chat here, and I think it's worth a debate. And I'm coming to you first, Echo. So hold on to your New Zealand balls for this one. Are you ready for this? Khalid asks, "Is this a more satisfying climax than Luke blowing up the Death Star?"
Do you know what?
Genuinely,
It's up there. It's up there with the Death Star
Shit,
being
that's
blown
a
up. In
great
my
question.
opinion.
Great
That's
question.
what I think.
Echo?
Do you know what? Right,
That's rough.
I just like to say, right, that this is a movie, right, and it's
It is.
not a film. Right, the difference between a film and a movie is that movies has slightly exaggerated everything in the films, and the Americans are really good at making movies. Britain makes films, America makes movies. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to answer Khalid as best I can. So, Star Wars, my initial reaction was yes, because it's super kinetic, it's enthralling, rapid fire. You've got this beautiful character arc of the farm boy who becomes, fully realized. But it's divided in two because he fires the thing, it goes in, that's great. But then there's like a pause, and then the Death Star explodes. So it's a two-part thing. Whereas this, you're so absolutely wound up like a spring after an hour and a half to 2 hours of pure tension that you just get this pure cathartic release in the moment. So I have to say this is probably better.
Oh, well, let's just check in on the panel swappers. I know you're a Star Wars aficionado. What do you think?
Echo just perfectly described what happened in Jugs.
Yeah.
Well, that's
On
the
screen.
ultimate,
That was on screen.
ultimate climax, yes.
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know. It's a very different situation because Star Wars is aimed at a much younger audience, really. Having said that, I did see Jaws when I was about 9. So, still a kid. And as a 9-year-old, I think I found it more of a release in a different way because although as a little kid, it's like explosions and you love all that kind of stuff, just explosions. But this was like, yes, they got the bastard back. And I think I was at the age where I was kind of getting the idea of revenge, and I kind of punched the air a bit when this happened. So I'd probably go for this one because you really feel for the characters and you're in there with them as like an extra member of the boat, a member of the crew. So I think this one just inches it out, to be honest.
Got two for Jaws.
I will just say this one was up close and personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you feel like it's coming for you personally, don't you?
Yeah.
Is that a vote from you, Brown? 3? For
Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws. Yeah.
Brian is positively crushing his can of iron brew at home. He's not happy with this. Who've we not had? Melvin?
What was the question again?
The question is Khalid's question, is this a more... I'm going to do it. We need to go find the actual question.
That's fine.
I'm pissed.
There you go. Oh, no, sorry.
No, that's not right, Brown. Maybe I've got it. Is this a more satisfying climax?
That was the seediest drunk sounding comment.
No.
Melvin, short and sweet, no.
It wasn't. Luke blowing up the Death Star was a lot more exciting than this for me. I was a bit disappointed with the ending in Jaws because I thought it was silly.
Oh. Okay.
Seeing it swimming up there with the tank sticking out of its mouth, and I thought, man. Even when I was young, even when I seen this when I was about 8 or something, I thought it was a bit too silly.
I will say I love science fiction and space films. I love them, but because I think I saw this first in a real kind of cinema-esque experience in the Working Men's Club, this will always have a special place. But yeah, as I said, up close and personal. This. Proper peril. Yeah.
Answer the fucking question, man. You're like Keir Starmer dithering around. What? Yes or no?
Yes.
It's more. Oh my word. Well, Melvin, I'm with you for what it's worth. I think Luke blowing up the Death Star, bro. I believe we're in the minority. I think the more of the panel think this was the more, impactful ending. Brown, any chance? I know we're quite late in the day, but any chance of a poll?
No.
No chance of a poll.
Too late now. Sorry.
Oh, thanks, Melv, by the way. Okay.
Just as a nice bit of trivia, Peter Jackson's first film Bad Taste, they did actually blow up a sheep. So you see a sheep get destroyed by dynamite if you watch that film.
That was a horrible film.
Oh, I love that film. What are you talking about?
I thought it was horrible. I know it's a classic, but I thought it was horrible. Especially, are we talking about the same film with the
basket case?
No. He's talking about Bad Taste. Is that with the puppets? Is that the one with the weird puppets?
The small town with the aliens take over.
Oh, that one. So I'm thinking of the other one.
No, you're thinking of a different one.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay, we've discussed the better climactic explosive ending. What about the better reaction? Because Luke's is somewhat a bit of a deep breath, isn't it? Whereas Brody's full on. Yeah, you know, I like Brody's reaction actually.
I don't know. Do you like if that was you? Do you think that's what you'd be doing? You think you've seen two people die, and you're stuck in the middle of the sea. You know,
yeah, but the thing is that you're looking into it too deeply. That's the difference between a film and a movie. A movie would take something and it would exaggerate it, and then if it depends on how good it's shot and how good the performances are, you go with it. Some people don't go with it. Obviously, you didn't go with it. I went with it, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not looking into it too deeply. I think I was just answering the question. I never thought about his reaction before until Ruin just mentioned it. Right. It just seems a wee bit like if you were in that position, you probably wouldn't do it.
Of course you would, because he's just killed. According to him, he's just killed two of his friends. He thought Hooper was dead as well. So when he gets him and blows him up, of course he's gonna scream and be happy because now it's gone.
It just means he got over the death pretty quick. He seems quite cheery now.
Well, he's focusing.
It was a very short mourning period.
Well, he wasn't mourning. He had to get rid of the shark, right? He wasn't thinking about mourning, really.
It's euphoric relief. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I think it makes sense.
I'd wait until my feet was back on dry land, to be honest.
Yeah, there's that's Quint's leg there. You can see just sliding.
Okay, there's a poll going.
Don't forget the absolute beautiful thing. I think, Mega, is the score, because up till here you've had very percussive, a very stabby, literally, music in the lower registers of the orchestra, and then you have this beautiful floating Claude Debussy style. It's almost like harps and very light instrument, and it's very floaty. So it's very, it's not sort of, it's floating in a key, and it's very lightweight, and it's a very important part of that moment.
Yeah, it's like relief. It's like the music is relief music, isn't it? It's like big relief.
Should we do a quick super chat just to give people a chance to vote in the poll? Come on, people. Wrenched, £6.69. Thought I might throw this one in just in case. You never know. https:// www.alcoholicsanonymous.org.uk/newcomers/ cheers, mate.
Isn't that a hyphen? Isn't that a hyphen?
It is. Sorry, folks.
Sorry, you think you know somebody.
I fucked
you
it
think
up.
you know somebody.
I was just about to say to Ruin, have you got a blackout there? Is your electricity not working?
He's doing his bit for net zero.
Yes.
I just imagine him.
What I save in electricity, I spend in Rome.
But I just imagine you face down on the wooden floor with vomit, and then your little Yorkie sort of sniffing around you, worrying what's going on.
What a life! What a life it is. Anyway, we hang on, folks. We're in serious danger of finishing this goddamn movie. So
yeah, I'm just going to do the poll. Question is: better ending, Jaws, Star Wars. 35 votes.
Well, that wasn't a question, you
what was
fucking
it?
amateur.
What was it then?
Oh, don't make me go back to Khalid's question. It was an excellent question.
Go on then. What was it again?
I'm going to find it now because I'm half.
Well, just best climax, Star Wars.
Best climax.
Jaws.
Well, same thing. Ending.
I don't know.
Okay, substitute the word ending for climax, folks. So better climax, Jaws, Star Wars. 76 people watching, 38 votes. Come on, folks.
Come on, folks.
Come on, folks.
I'm worried we're going to get some recency bias. I know these were made in the 70s, but I think everyone's going to jump on the old shark.
Echo, I was just about to say to you that I really love the Amity theme here, because that's where they end it on the Amity theme, don't they? The town theme. When he comes up and he says, Quint, and he goes, no. And then they both have to swim back, don't they?
I mean, as a kid, I don't know about you guys, but as a kid, I was still on edge when they were swimming back into shore, because I was thinking there's so much blood in the water. You know, it would have attracted other things. I was never quite, I could never quite relax.
Ruin, why are you? We've still got what are you doing, you Burke?
No, I just thought I had a point to make about the poster, but never mind. That's the stream. Okay. The reunited, aren't they? The two lovers.
A little bit of blood in the water still.
Yeah. But they start laughing, you see. Now, what do you make of that, Melvin?
They're laughing as they are literally tasting the blood of Quint's. They're gargling in Quint's blood.
No, but the point I'm trying to make is, should they be in shock here, or should he be sad that Quint is gone?
Relief, isn't it? It's just relief.
That's what I think as well.
Euphoria.
It's the hilarity of shock. That's what that is.
There's a time for grief and a time for.
But I didn't realize that because I remember when I first saw the film in the old days when the credits used to come, but everybody used to start leaving the cinema. But I didn't realize that you actually see them hit the beach and come out of the water, don't you? Towards the end.
Do you? Come out.
Yeah, you do. If you look closely in the credits. So yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you look closely, you can see them. Yeah.
I might need to.
There's something in the water.
He's something in the water. Yeah.
And obviously the Hitchcockian reference, almost, the birds pecking away at the remnants of the shark.
And Quint.
Somehow I think that was an accident.
Well, that's it.
Mudcrab has a theory. Would you like me to share it with you all?
Mudcrab thinks
they're laughing because they know they no longer have to pay Quints.
Was
it
£10,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He got paid to try and kill the shark. Yeah.
Do you know what, right? Just to talk like Mega, I never actually seen this before. The scene, in my mind, it's only just ever been the two of them paddling back into shore from a reverse.
They're there. You can see them. Yeah, you can see them in that shot.
Yeah, it has the credits.
They reach it. Yeah.
They reach. Shame, Echo. And you have like an online, famous, world-renowned online film buff, and you didn't even know that about like the famous.
I never knew that.
Give up hand your pass back in.
Well, Swappers agrees with me.
Yeah, I always thought that, oh my God, there might be other sharks out there that could get them on the way back. You never actually see them make it back to shore, but you do here.
Right, come on, folks. 80 watching. We've had 44 votes. Come on, folks.
Come on, get them in. Get the votes in.
Get to climax. Jaws, Star Wars. Come on, folks. Get
while
votes
we're
in.
waiting, Brown, can you do this in your best Japanese accent, please?
I saw. In the Japanese version, it is called Squint.
No racism here, folks.
Welcome
to... You can say that, and I can't say what I say. That's not fair.
Well, it's because it's welcome to casual racism, courtesy of common people.
Well, look, folks, don't go. Hold your horses, folks, because we have got the credits to come, and we believe we're going to come back next week to do the credits. We can't rush through the
Directed by Steve. Amazing. Yeah.
Steven
Spielberg. How's the poll going, Brown? Or do you want to give it a little more time?
I'm going to stop when we get to 50 votes. We've got 5 votes. Come on, folks. Better climax. Jaws, Star Wars. Come on. Get voting. If you can.
So if this was made today, you'd have a post-credit sequence, wouldn't you, with another fucking fin in the water or something?
Yeah. Like a baby Jaws. You killed my mummy.
Yeah, you would.
Just like 3 seconds long, and you just have 2 notes of the John Williams score, like then it's finished, and everyone in the audience in the 70s, oh my God, there's another one.
I'm quite surprised how short the credits are as well at the end of Jaws, because usually they're really long. Well, the films I know when I was growing up.
Tough audience tonight. Come on, folks. 48 votes. Come on. 2 votes. We'll close it. Better climax. Jaws. Star Wars. Come
on. Okay. Well, look. While we wait for those final votes,
can I make a prediction?
Go on then, Mel.
I predict that even though I voted Star Wars, Jaws will win the poll because Swappers has more auto counts than me.
Well, look, we got there, folks. It took us 4 weeks, but I would say it was 4 weeks well spent. And my liver may not agree, but that's for me to deal with in old age.
So we're doing marks out of 10.
We are. We're doing marks out of 10. Final thoughts, marks out of 10. And let's put this baby to bed.
Okay, chat. If you've seen the film, which I assume everybody has, marks out of 10, folks, and I'll flash them up. Marks out of 10.
We go to, honestly, may I just say, Brown, I criticise you about many things, but you know how to put a panel together, and this has been one of the greatest, I would say. This panel for Jaws has been an absolute pleasure.
And the chat as well. Let's not forget.
Chat's
fantastic.
I would say Acolyte chat were better, but after the Acolyte, top notch. Echo, we're coming to you. You've been fabulous on these streams, my friend. Give me your closing thoughts, and I can't wait to hear it. Give me your score out of 10.
Well, I just can't believe all the homoeroticism for people giving Roy Scheider, whose image there, all these high numbers out of 10. It's incredible stuff. It's a perfect film. It's a perfect premise, executed perfectly. The first revolutionized film. It took drama and themes, and it welded perfectly to just everyday cinema popcorn populism in a way that had never really been done before. It's perfect suspense, perfect drama, perfect division of 3 characters with perfectly distinct personalities that work off each other perfectly. Just the perfect amount of shark, the perfect score, perfect director. It's a perfect film.
Yes.
Damn.
And your score?
It's a solid 10 from me.
Yes.
Yowza.
Brilliant. Okay, this could be, Brad. We've been doing this some years now. This could be the highest rated movie we've ever reviewed or roasted. Well, let's see. Let's go to Swappers. Swappers, what do you make of it all?
It's still to this day, even all these years on, it's still the benchmark for filmmaking, isn't it? If you want to make a great movie, look at how this film has been made. Every aspect of it is textbook perfection. You know, like Echo said, it is perfect, and it's hard to argue any faults with it whatsoever. Yeah, there are. I mean, there are with any films, but you know, you can forgive any of them. They're all minor nitpicks. This film actually achieves anything. You know, it's one of those. Like, could you call it a disaster film? It came out the same sort of time as a lot of disaster films, and around that sort of time, they were very vogue at the time in Hollywood. And where they took a premise and built a crisis around it, and Jaws was kind of similar, but obviously a lot smaller scale than a big sort of earthquake movie or whatever. But they built a ride around it at Universal Studios. You know, it was an absolute phenomenon outside of this film, and it's still regarded massively to this day as one of the greatest films ever made. And there's many films that have been made ever since that can't touch it in any way. So it's absolutely incredible. I'll give it a 9. I can't quite give it a 10, but you know, I want to give it a 10, but nothing's really a 10. But I'd say the only thing after this film being released, the only downside is the fact that I'm still waiting for Jaws, Hollow Jaws 3D from Back to the Future.
Yes.
2, and I haven't seen it yet. So you know, I'm still waiting on that sequel.
Come on, folks. We need one more vote for the poll.
Okay, we've got a 10. We've got a 9. Thanks to that, Swappers. Let's go to Melv. What do you think, Melv?
What do you think? How much time do we have? Do I give the long version or the short version?
Whatever you like. Floors.
Whatever. Well, we'll take another hour. Here's what I think. I think Star Wars is the most influential film ever made.
Yep.
I think it influenced everything that was made after it. and ways that even if we could discuss it over 100 streams and would never get to the bottom of all of it, how many things Star Wars changed for the film industry and for entertainment in general, for toy sales and merchandise and everything else. And Star Wars wouldn't have happened without Jaws. Jaws is the first film I can remember that was a phenomenon all on its own. It wasn't just a film; it was bigger than that. And Jaws changed everything because Jaws led into Star Wars, and then Star Wars changed everything beyond that. And I don't think we've seen anything else since then, either of these, that had the kind of impact these have had. Because everything else was, when you see all the other blockbusters and all the other huge films that came after these, they were all pushed and pushed and pushed and publicized, and they put probably hundreds of millions of pounds into pushing things like Jurassic Park and things like that. Whereas with Jaws and then with Star Wars, it was all just organic. It just took off. It was a phenomenon all on its own.
This is genuinely the daddy, isn't it?
This is the one. We wouldn't have had Star Wars without this.
Yeah, this is the daddy, yeah.
One of the most influential films ever made.
Oof. High praise. And your score, Melv?
I'll get to that. I don't think it's as good a movie as Alien, even though it's more influential than Alien. Because Alien probably wouldn't have happened without Star Wars. So, evolution. So Alien is better, but it was like a couple of steps on in evolution as films go. So I'll give Alien a 9.5 because I agree with Swappers that nothing is a 10. And I'm giving Jaws a 9.4 because
it's decimals.
It can't be as good as Alien. That's why the only reason it gets a 9.4. Alien has to be better.
Get the average calculator ready, Bram. We're gonna need to plug all these figures in. We had a 10, I think a 9, a 9.4. Let's go to Meggie. I think look, we've had 4 weeks of Mega Geek. It's such an honor. And I don't believe we've had genuinely one "it's shit" phrase, have we, Mega Geek?
We've had "it's great" tonight.
We've had "it's great," yeah. What do you make of it?
Sorry, I almost fell asleep there.
Cheers.
Okay.
So basically, I would always say that I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. But
wow,
this movie is a movie. Okay, right. Sometimes some of the best movies, the great movies, when you look at it deeply, it doesn't make any sense. Like, for instance, all the things we've been pointing out, like Melvin's been pointing out, why would the shark go and attack it once it's eaten Quint? Why is the shark even bothering trying to attack them? What has it got, a brain now? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So all those things don't make any sense. Itchu in the canister at the end, and if you shoot at it, it won't blow up, but it did blow up in the film. All that stuff doesn't make any sense. And great films great movies, shall I say, do have that. If you just got to look at Back to the Future, if you delve deep into Back to the Future, mother fancies her son, a bit problematic there, and lots of stuff in Back to the Future is problematic. But because it's handled in such a way that it's brilliantly directed and brilliantly put together, and has that aura of a movie and excitement and enjoyment in those both movies, as I mentioned, it's become a movie. It's become one of the greatest movies in the history of movies. Do you know what I mean? So Jaws is right up there. I mean, even when you think of Close Encounters, that didn't make any sense either. Do you know what I mean? I mean, kind of made sense for a bit, but as I said, with great directors, they basically can take a script and just kind of level it up high enough so that you accept the full package, even though it's broken, if you know what I mean. And I think this one is a prime example of that. Back to the Future is another prime example. Close Encounters is another prime example. Alien is another prime example of that. Because if you look at Alien very carefully, you wouldn't let them in the door if there was something attached to that guy's face at all, and you wouldn't allow anything. Once Ash let them in, then basically, everybody will team up and put Ash in there and lock him in the place where he was trying to take the thingy. Anyway, he would have been quarantined, in other words. So, but anyway, common sense things like that in movies and horror films and stuff like that don't make any sense, but they are great movies. And as I said, Jaws is a great movie. I would gladly sit through this again and again and again.
Same here.
Yeah, there you
go. Brownie, I'm going to come to you last and give you the closing comments and thoughts and top the scores up and all the rest of it. I'm just going to play it simple here. It's a 10 for me. I think there's name me another movie that's had such an impact culturally.
Last Jedi.
Well, obviously that's an 11 out of 10. But Jaws literally stopped people going into the sea. It got into the psyche. There's not quite another film that made such an impression. Perfect cast. I don't want to reiterate everything Echo said and the rest of the panel. It's just a coming together of perfection. The score, everything. Yes, very minor. You can pick minor things and anything, but this was, so many years on, it's rewatchable. It has impact. It scares the shit out of you. You can laugh with along. Your jaw hits the floor. It's brilliant. I think it's top 10 all day for me, and it's a 10 out of 10. Brown, over to you. Close us out.
Great movie. Obviously, it's got its faults. Special place in my heart for this because of when I first time I watched it. It felt like a proper cinema experience for me, even though it was in a working men's club. Just such a good movie. It still holds up. It's 50 years old, and if it was on TV, I'd watch it. Or if I've got it on my hard drive, I will watch it gladly. It's so good. It's just some great acting. Some of my favorite actors. It's just great. What more can I say? It's just really, really good. I'm gonna give it. You want a mark, don't you?
I want the mark from you. Yes.
Okay. Do you want an IGN 7 or a 5.5? I'm going to give
truth.
this.
We want truth, bro.
We're allowed half marks. Yes.
Wow, it's your channel.
It's a solid 9.5. This solid.
Well, you're gonna have to plug all those scores in. I think we got. Well, I know you have to rewind back and listen.
Most people were doing in the chat. Most people were doing 10s and 9s. A few kind of 7s, but I'd say
9 point something.
I'd say 9 solid in the chat as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That comment by Mudcrab wins the chat tonight, I think.
Well,
the one thing that they've all got in common, though, all of them, is that to make those films, everyone had a hard time and almost quit. Star Wars, Back to the Future had a hard time. Jaws had a hard time. Close Encounters had the hardest, mostly of them all. When you read the behind the scenes.
So what you're saying is The Last Jedi probably had it very, very easy behind the scenes.
Apparently, this is no joke. This is no joke. Apparently, it did. There was no resistance to what he wanted.
First draft.
I'll just throw in Back to the Future. It also had its problems. They had to recast the main actor, didn't they, and reshoot a lot of the scenes.
But you know what, right? It's really down to the director, and if you've got a strong director at the helm with a great vision, he's the one that literally makes the whole thing work in the end. So, and with all the films we've mentioned, they've had really strong directors, from Ridley Scott to Spielberg to George Lucas. I don't know about that, but
Ryan Johnson.
It's really right. Ryan Roundhead Johnson.
Okay, I've closed the poll as well. The question was better ending / climax.
Yeah.
Second place. Sorry, 55 votes complete. 55 votes voted. Cheers, boys and girls. Star Wars 45%. Jaws 54.
Wow. Okay.
And 1% missing.
They're both very different, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can compare them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we did.
Have you ever had a moment, Mega, where everything has just become dysfunctional on set and the problems have piled up and everyone just goes quiet and just stares at you because you're the director?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. So you have to deal with it. That's the thing, But the thing is, Spielberg, even though he was very young, he had the experience behind him with all the TV shows he did. And also the fact that he was very clever as well, what he did. I mean, I don't know about George Lucas because I know George Lucas almost had a breakdown when he was doing Star Wars, especially the actors were teasing him all the time and he didn't know how to direct that well. But with other films I've mentioned, Robert Zemeckis, man, he even Forrest Gump, even after the huge success of Back to the Future, when he was doing Forrest Gump, they still gave him a hard time. They wanted to cut the budget and everything. And in the end, Tom Hanks and him stuck their own money to finish Forrest Gump, and then it won Oscars. So nobody knows anything. They really don't know anything. But the first starting point is to get a director with a vision. That's the first starting point when you're trying to make a movie. Do you know what I mean? So anyway.
Brown, I think they're going to look back on these streams in years to come as some of the finest work, I believe, on your channel. I'm just, going to make a prediction there.
It's good to. It genuinely is good to talk about something that's good because it's just shite. Everything's just shite.
Everything's shit, but we're mixing it up, aren't we? And I believe, look, I don't want to get the man babies excited. I believe you've got Blade Runner in the works. Am I right?
I've been sitting on the slides for since the 40th anniversary. We've got Matrix as well, so I might. Yeah, so we'll do something then. Yeah.
Great. 40th anniversary. So 3 years.
Yeah, I've been sat on the slides 3 years.
Oh my god,
it's nice.
Yeah. I did have. I was thinking, shall I do all the slides again with the captions? Maybe I might do it for obviously the really. Basically, the end scene.
You've been sitting on those slides almost for the lifespan of a replicant. That's amazing.
That's the irony, yes. So that is it, folks. That is it. Chat, you are wonderful. Thank you for the interaction, the super chats. Chat, you are the best. What more can I say? You are the best. That's all I can say. You are the best. So we'll see you next time, folks. Shall I thank the guests? I think I should. Okay. Boat Dong Deeply. Cheers, Melvin.
No bother, people.
Here we go. The Mega Geek. It's... Oh, sorry. I'm boomering. Bear with me. The Mega Geek. It's not shit. Cheers, Ian.
Yeah, no worries.
What did you say? It's great.
It's great. It's a bloody great movie.
Suck that up, folks. You're not going to get that anytime soon.
Well, no.
Stop. Cheers, swappers.
You're very welcome, Mr. Brown. Thanks to everyone on the panel. It's been an absolute joy being here with you and the chat. You're always amazing. Lovely catching this film again in slide form. It's been amazing. It makes me want to go back and watch it over again because it's so good. What an amazing film, and it's great to cover something we actually love for once as well.
Yes,
it is. Yeah, it is.
Unbelievable. The magnificent Echo Chamberlain. Cheers, Echo.
Yeah, wonderful panel. Maybe was a little off his game today. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I thought that, but yeah.
I was disappointed we didn't have a reprise of the people ordering curry in a resonant way in the background like we had last week. And so yeah, but apart from all that, yeah.
Okay, what's the Indiegogo? Is that for your album?
It is indeed, yeah. So all the basic mixes, the raw mixes are done, but production and mastering and mixing, it costs a pretty penny. So if anyone can chip in there, we'll get the album over the line. And for all the backers, I'm going to hold a nice little stream where they can jump on if they want, or it could be a private stream. We'll figure it out when we have the big release party online for all the tracks with all the videos.
Is this what is this for then, Echo?
It's my album. I'm making a music album.
Okay.
Electronica stuff. Obviously I can't reach the lofty heights of You with She Drives Me Crazy and Good Thing.
Do you know what? Well, it's interesting. White people can't tell the difference between two black people or people of color. It's really interesting. You know what I mean?
We're going to have a poll next week. Best original music. Is it Echo Chamberlain's Indiegogo? Is it Mr. Brown's? 90s dance track? Is it Ruins, ABBA compilation, or is it the Fine Young Cannibals? So we'll have a vote on that one, folks. It's going to be fun.
Common people range. Make Echo a regular. It's nice for Mega to have a fellow home.
We're both hardcore, brawny heteros.
And cheers, Echo, and Ruin. Brilliant, mate, as always.
I try my best to ruin it, but I don't think I could. Just too good a movie.
So
and yeah, what a pleasure. What a great 4 weeks we've had, honestly. Yes. And looking forward to doing many more. We've got some good movies lined up, haven't we, Brown?
We'll sort something out, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely sort something out. So, chat, that's it. Open bar tomorrow with modding that. Is Trev doing Fridays?
The open bar. Fuck the open bar.
We're back. We're back Sunday. If you're going to watch Superman in the next couple of days, we're going to be discussing that on Sunday. Definitely. Superman. Ugh.
I feel that's going to be the cinematic equivalent of flinging sausage rolls over my shoulder. That's what
I fear we should expect a disappointment with that. So take care, everybody.
No.
Look after yourselves. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.